24-year-old Jenny Lee Thompson is suing her former roommate, 27-year-old Michelle Stubblefield, for rent, bills, and the unpaid portion of their security deposit.
All rise.
That's case number 403 on the calendar, the matter of Thompson versus Stubblefield. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Ms. Thompson, you and the defendant were roommates for a short period of time.
Yes.
And it didn't work out.
Correct.
The defendant left. You claim that she owes you some money for a deposit on the apartment, for some rent and utility bills. Ms. Stubblefield says she owes you nothing. She's counterclaiming. She said you had no right to kick her out of the apartment, and she has no intention of paying you for an apartment that you didn't live in. You knew each other before you moved in together, I assume?
Yes.
For how long?
We knew each other previously. We lost contact for about 2 years. We met again in March of 2006.
And you moved into an apartment together on a month-to-month tenancy, am I correct?
Yes.
You didn't sign a lease?
No.
So there was nothing that precluded either one of you from moving out?
Correct.
Is that right?
Right.
When did you move in?
I think at the beginning of September.
And what was the rent on the apartment, Ms. Stubblefield?
I believe it was $695.
What do you mean you believe it was $695?
I never received a rental agreement.
Well, there was no rental agreement, madam. There was a month-to-month tenancy. There was nothing in writing, I assume.
We do have a copy of the rental agreement.
Oh, fine. Monthly rent was $625, and you were splitting that in half?
Yes.
Okay. Did you pay your September rent?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. When did you move out?
It was October 12th.
Is that right?
No, it's not.
When was it?
October 26th.
What makes you think it was the 12th of October?
Because it was 2 days after my paycheck on the 10th.
Well, let's say, for argument's sake, it was October the 12th, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your rent was due 2 weeks before that. Did you pay October's rent?
I paid part of it.
When?
On the 25th of September.
What did you pay?
$250.
Show me.
She never gave me receipts.
Did you ask for one?
No, I did not.
Did she give you any rent towards October?
She gave me partial rent.
When?
On September 25th.
What'd she give you?
Let me just take a look here. I believe it was $320 that she gave me that day.
She said she gave you $250.
No, she did not.
So she gave you more?
Yes.
Her share of the rent was $312.
Mm-hmm.
So she had paid her October's rent.
Well, no, we had actually agreed that she was going to be splitting not only the rent, but the deposits as well. And because she did not have that money up front, I went ahead and paid for those deposits.
I see.
And she was paying me back, so she did not pay for her rent.
Okay, and what was the deposit?
The deposit was a total of $1162, I believe.
You didn't pay the deposit, is that correct?
No, but I did pay her back. I paid a total of $500 to her.
For what?
For the deposits and for my part of the rent.
So far, you said you paid rent in September.
Yes.
What did you give her for September's rent?
I gave her the 300 and something, I guess.
$312. And how much did you pay her towards the deposit in September?
I did not receive another paycheck until the time.
That's not what I asked you. I'm not asking you about your hardship. I'm asking you how much money you paid her towards the deposit.
None.
None. So that the $320 that you gave her on September 25th was for what?
For the rent and part of the deposit. That's what I thought it was for.
I don't care what you thought it was for.
She has actually paid me more money than she believes she paid me, Your Honor.
Perfect. How much did she pay you?
She paid me a total of $760 during the time that we lived together.
She sounds like an honest lady. Now, you want to tell me why you moved out.
When I first got in contact with her again, I was living with my baby's father, and it was not working out, so I asked and see if I can come stay with her in her one-bedroom apartment with my son part-time, and she said...
What do you mean with your son part-time?
Well, I had him part-time.
You have joint custody?
Yes.
Legally?
No.
Go ahead.
And then after living there for about a month or two, we decided that we were going to go and get a place together.
Got it.
And then once we moved into there, that's when she started changing and being very controlling, and everything had to be her way. And I couldn't do anything the way that I wanted to. If I did something wrong, she would get mad at me. She wouldn't let me turn the heat on when it was cold. She would take light bulbs out of the lamps and hide them so I couldn't turn any lights on. She would also lock the bathroom door so I could not get into there. And I thought it was not a very good situation for me and my son to live there anymore.
When did the boyfriend start staying at the house regularly?
He wasn't there regularly.
Yes, he was.
No.
I didn't say live there. I said, when did he start staying there regularly?
We met at the beginning of October, I think.
So that's when he started staying there?
Yes.
Prior to that, was there any difficulty with the plaintiff?
Yes, there was.
What kind of difficulty?
Very controlling.
Go ahead.
I was not controlling of her, and I did not kick her out of the apartment. I don't have any legal right to do so. I did contact the police the day before she moved out on her own free will.
Don't tell me what she did. That's my judgment to make.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You contacted the police for a reason. When?
On to October 25th.
What?
October 25th.
And she was
I have
still
a copy
there
of that
October
report.
25th?
Yes,
Fine.
she was.
She was still there. She didn't move out on October 12th.
No, she did
moved
not.
out on October 25th. Let me see the police report. Okay, October 25th. There's a printout. You were still there on October 25th, according to this, locked yourself in your bedroom.
No, I locked myself in my bedroom.
You locked yourself in the bedroom?
Yes.
And the police responded?
Yes, they did.
Did you speak to them that night?
No, I was not there when there was police there.
Where did you go?
Went and stayed in a motel room because she kicked me out that night.
Well, tell me how she kicked you out.
Well, she came to my bedroom door that night around midnight and proceeded to yell and scream at me and saying that I owed her this much money, and I asked to see the bills. And she
What time was it?
I thought it was around midnight.
What time was it?
It was actually around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
And I asked her to see if I could see the bills that she was talking about. She would not show them to me. And my boyfriend was behind the door.
This boyfriend?
Yes.
The one who stays over regularly?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Was standing behind the door so he could not see her. I was sitting on the bed covered up in sheets. And then I was done arguing because I didn't want to argue anymore with her because she was getting hysterical. And so I asked him to shut the door, and so he did.
Well, you hadn't paid any rent for the month of October.
Yes, I have.
No, you didn't. You can't pay both the deposit and the rent. You didn't pay that much money. Go ahead.
And so then we went out into the living room, and that's when she was going back and forth from the bathroom to her bedroom. And that's when she told me that we needed to leave right then and there because we broke the rental agreement.
How did she say you broke the rental agreement?
That is all she said to me, that I broke the rental agreement. And I told her no, because I had already put in my 30 days notice with the landlord.
Oh, when did you put in your 30 days notice?
It was earlier that month. I'm not exact on the day.
Well, you put it in October,
Yes.
but you didn't pay rent for October.
I wasn't going to until I was ready to.
Ah, that's right. So you didn't pay October's rent.
No.
So she was hysterical that you didn't pay October's rent.
Thank you.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I don't believe that's what I'm trying to testify to.
I don't care what you're trying to testify to. I asked you simple questions. So which one was it, a week or two?
I don't know. I'm not even going to bother
All
now.
right, you're not going there.
And later today,
He was responsible and loving and gave you an opportunity to have a car, the car of your choice, and you blew it. Why are you mad at him?
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jenny Lee Thompson claims former roommate Michelle Stubblefield owes for rent and bills.
Last name.
Last name Purvis, ma'am.
Where do you work, sir?
I'm a firefighter for Patrick National Corporation across the country.
How many nights a week did you spend at the defendant's home?
I think at that time it had been a total of 8 nights.
8 nights in the month of October, because that's when you met, right? You met the month. Listen to me very carefully, sir. You met sometime in the month of October. When in October?
I came back from fire on September 28th. I stayed home for 2 weeks, so it had to have been the first, let's see,
Don't
third?
look at her, look at me.
I'm looking at her for confirmation. I think it was the 3rd or 4th of October.
That's when you met.
That's when we met.
Where did you meet?
We had a countryside. It's a rock and rodeo kind of place, kind of a bar, tavern type thing.
And when did you start staying over at her house?
Staying with her regularly?
No. When did you start staying over at her house, sir?
I believe it was like a week or two later that we met up.
Well, let's say a week or two later.
Yes,
Let's
ma'am.
say a week later. So the October
About the
10th.
10th.
And she left, according to her, on the 12th.
Accordingly, sir.
But according to the police, it was the 20th.
And you know, that's
Fifth.
interesting, the whole police report, because I don't believe I've heard anything about that. And as my job as a firefighter, ma'am, I would be...
Listen to me.
Yes,
Listen to
ma'am.
me. 25th.
Yes, ma'am. 25th then.
So let's take your numbers. You have the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. You have 15 nights. And of the 15 nights, you were there one half the time. According to you, a little more than 55% of the time. Those are your numbers.
I understand what you're saying, ma'am. I don't believe that's what I'm trying to testify to.
I don't care what you're trying to testify to. I asked you simple questions. How many nights did you sleep there? You said 8. When did you start sleeping there? You told me on the 10th, because you met on the 3rd. You said maybe it was 2 weeks later. Well, if it was 2 weeks after you met, then you spent every night there. So which one was it, a week or 2?
I don't know. I'm not going to bother
All
now.
right, you're not going there.
Well, I'm
You
not
see
going to
where I'm
jump up
going,
and say
sir?
I'm wrong either.
You see where I'm going, sir?
Well, ma'am,
Oh.
may I test... May I...
No, I'm asking the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm asking the questions.
Yes, ma'am.
Were you ever at the house where the defendant's child was there?
I was.
How often?
maybe a day that he actually stayed the night there.
And when he stayed and spent the night there, did he stay in his own room?
No, ma'am. He has his own bed in her room.
And where did you stay?
In the room.
With her?
Yes, ma'am.
And how old is the child?
The child was, at the time, 16, 17 months.
Now, Mr. Purvis, you could briefly tell me what you want to say, sir, and say it because I have other fish to fry today.
Copy. The night in question, and when she told her to leave, and she did tell her to leave because she told both of us to leave, she had violated a roommate agreement or rental agreement, which I can't recall now because there's been two different things said. But I know that she asked us to leave, and she was acting very hysterical. And the time that I first started hanging out, I actually met her at the bar. I actually hit on Jen first. That's how I met her.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
You want to go through your social history, go on,
It's
Jerry
not a
Springer.
social... I'm just
Listen
trying...
to me very carefully, sir. She did break the rental agreement. She didn't pay October's rent.
Copy.
That's breaking the rental agreement.
Copy.
This is the rental agreement. It says the two of them lived there. They were both supposed to pay rent. She didn't pay October's rent. Not only didn't she pay October's rent, but half the time you were there. Half the time in October, you were there, according to you. I didn't make that up. You gave me the information.
From midnight
so
to
not
8.
only, I don't care if it was midnight to 7 a.m., sir, you were there. So not only didn't she pay rent, but she had company and didn't pay rent. So she had right to be angry. And if she said, I want you to move out, she didn't have to leave.
That's not how she said it, ma'am.
I don't care if she says get out. You don't have to leave.
She threatened her, ma'am.
I don't care what she said, sir.
Okay.
The fact that she was afraid of being put out, and maybe you didn't want to be involved, maybe you should have gone to the place where you spend the other half
At
of
my house.
October. Fine. Listen, who else lives in your house?
I have two other roommates. I live on campus.
Good. Can't she come to stay with you?
Absolutely.
Great. Is that what you did?
Absolutely, when she doesn't have her kid.
No. Listen to me. She didn't have her kid that night of the 25th.
Oh, the 25th? No, ma'am.
Right?
Yeah.
Didn't have a child there the 25th.
Well...
So did she come and spend the night with you?
About the date, the 25th, but...
Did she come and spend the night with you?
No, ma'am.
Why not?
Because at that time, we have a roommate agreement, and we all have our own nights of the house, because there's 3 people in a 2-bedroom apartment. So that night was not my night to be there.
Oh, so you had to find a girlfriend to
No, I don't.
Oh, I got it.
I have another home.
Oh, I got it now. Now, Mr. Purvis, when you left that night, where did you go?
To a motel.
You did?
Yes, ma'am.
You would have had to have gone someplace else to sleep anyway, Mr. Purvis, because you have a roommate agreement, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I assume you paid for the motel.
I did.
Good. Now, the next night, you are allowed back in your room?
Yeah, my place is fine.
Because somebody else had to go find a girlfriend.
No.
Right?
No.
Right? Did you take her back with you the second night?
She actually did stay with me a couple nights after that.
Great, terrific. So the first night you would have had to have paid for a motel room. This time you had a comfy roommate to spend it with, because that's part of a counterclaim, which is nonsense. A, you didn't have to leave, Miss Stubblefield, when she told you to leave. If you'd paid your rent, you may have had difficulty, but you certainly would have had more of a case if you paid your rent. You can't keep yourself there, not only yourself, but yourself in company without paying. Anyway, are you still in the apartment?
Yes, I am.
Do you like it?
I love it.
Do you live by yourself?
Yes, I do.
Very smart.
Yes.
You're $395 and your counterclaim's dismissed. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your
You're
Honor.
excused. You may step out.
Well, she kind of ruined it when she tried to control what I did and what I couldn't do.
In reality, she's very naive and ignorant
Everything had to be her way.
and doesn't believe that she owes anybody anything.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Rios versus Mendez. Step forward, please.
24-year-old Lorena Rios is suing her uncle, Jesus Mendez, for the return of car payments on a 2006 Toyota Corolla. Lorena claims her uncle illegally repossessed the vehicle.
Mr. Mendez is your uncle. Is he your father's brother or your mother's brother?
My mom's brother.
There came a time when you wanted to buy a car, and you didn't have good enough credit to buy a car on your own. I assume that your mother didn't have good enough credit to help you out, so you went to your uncle, and you said, would you do me a favor and co-sign a loan for me? And because he probably loves his sister and cares for you, he said, I will do that for you, but these are the conditions. Right? Mm-hmm. And what were the conditions, Miss Rios?
His conditions were pretty much for me not to let him down with the payments.
So he gave you specifics, not just to not let him down. He gave you specifics. And what were the specifics?
That I made my payments on time.
And what was on time?
On time, well, pretty much...
No, look at me. You had an agreement with him to make payment on a specific date every month. Mm-hmm. What was that date?
They told me...
That day.
The 21st.
That's not what you say in here. Here you say the 18th of the month in your complaint.
The 18th is the due date.
No. Granted, there were a few months when I paid him past our agreed date of the 18th of the month. Not the 21st, the 18th. Now, you didn't pay all the time on the 18th of the month. And when I say pay your uncle. Because then your uncle had to pay the bank. And on what date was the payment due at the bank?
The 19th, Your Honor.
The 19th?
The 19th of every month.
Was probably later, sir, because I can't imagine you making the same date with her to pay as was due at the bank. Why don't you stand up and help him, please? Are you his wife?
I am his wife.
Okay. Who takes care of the paperwork?
I do.
I figured.
She's the boss.
Shh. What was the due date on the loan?
The due date on the loan was at the 19th, and we have 10 days of a grace period.
Stand there in case I need you again, would you please?
Not a problem.
So, Ms. Rios, you didn't make your payments all the time on time, and your uncle was getting on your case.
Right.
So you called the bank yourself, and they told you at the bank, well, your payments weren't late. You know, your payments were on time because they had a 10-day grace period, right?
Right.
So you said to them, why are you bothering me? Payments aren't due till the 29th of the month. Why are you bothering me? Because I made the payments on the 22nd, the 23rd, the 24th, the 25th. You have 10 days, right?
Right.
And finally, he got fed up and he took your car.
Right.
So you want him to pay you for all the money you put into the car for the 10 or 11 months that you had it.
Yeah.
Wrong. Wrong.
Or at least give me the car back.
No, it's not going to give you the car back. You had a contract with him. Irrespective of his agreement with the bank, your contract with him was that on the 19th of the month, he would have your money. Not having to come look for you on the 20th or the 21st or the 22nd or the 23rd or sweating the fact that he wasn't going to get a payment that month. You breached your contract with him. Do you understand that?
Right. However, the car's still under both of our names, though.
So?
So what, he just gets to keep the car?
Well, he's going to have to pay for it.
And I just left with nothing, no car, no nothing.
That's right. You used the car for 11 months or however long you used it. And if you had made the payments on time to your uncle, as you were contractually obligated to, because that was your agreement, you would have had your car. You were irresponsible. He was responsible and loving and gave you an opportunity to have a car, the car of your choice, and you blew it. Why are you mad at him? You should be mad at yourself. You blew it. You should say to him, thank you, I'm sorry I disappointed you.
Okay. So then what do I do now? The car's still under my name, and...
You want to know what I do to protect yourself? I'm going to give you this bit of advice. I would sign the whole thing over to him so that you're not stuck in case somebody has an accident with the car or anything else. So, Ms. Rios, I explained that to you. Well, I hope you understand it. You're growing up to be an adult. When you make a contract with somebody, you're supposed to live by the terms of that contract. And if you don't come to court to cry about it. Consider that you had a very expensive rental car for 11 months because you did drive it for 11 months if you put on 36,000 miles on the car, right?
Right.
Right? Good. That was your rental. Now buy a car that you can afford by yourself. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you. Parties are excused. You may step.
Executive Assistant Junelle Avila is suing her ex-boyfriend, salesperson Jacob Johnston, for a loan to help with his divorce. Jacob says Junelle gave him the money as thanks for his support.
All rise. Yeah, this is case number 478 on the calendar in the matter of Avila versus Johnston. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Avila, this is your former boyfriend, and according to you, you made a loan to him in an amount in excess of $5,000 to pay for an attorney because he was involved in a divorce and a custody dispute with his, I assume, now former wife?
Not quite.
Not quite. So you're still involved in this custody and legal dispute?
She was difficult then and still is.
I don't know who's difficult and who's not. When were you married?
August 96.
And you have children?
One.
How old?
8.
When did you leave your wife, or when did she leave you?
I moved away and we separated in 2003.
Did you meet Miss Avila before or after you left home?
Well after.
According to your complaint, the money that you loaned to him was in February of 2004. Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
Which was when?
I took out a personal loan in my name May 6, 2004.
And tell me the circumstances surrounding that loan.
I gave Jake a cashier's check, which I have here, and a copy of the personal loan I took out to get the funds to loan to Jake.
Okay. Tell me about the discussion that you had prior to your executing this personal loan with regard to what the money was needed for and whether or not you would, in fact, take out a loan and lend him the money.
Jake's ex-wife had filed for divorce in February, so he had 90 days to respond to that, and he was running out of time. He had no other resources of money available.
Was he working?
No, Your Honor, he was not. He quit his job in March.
Why?
Didn't like the job.
Well, if you quit the job in March of 2004, how were you paying child support?
Well, I had unemployment coming in.
How much was your child support?
And at that point,
order?
I wasn't paying child support any longer. I was told to stop paying by my attorney because I'd been paying to the tune of $4,700 a month for all bills for everything ever since we had separated. I paid for everything, Your Honor.
What does your wife do for a living?
She works at a counseling center at a university.
And what kind of work were you doing?
Factory rep.
What does that mean, a factory rep?
Worked for a major manufacturer selling their products.
When did you go back to work?
October 10th is when was my hire date.
So you had no more money in May of 2004, and you needed money for divorce.
Correct.
So tell me about the discussion that you had with Miss Avila. Were you living together at the time?
We weren't living together. I always kept my own place. I stayed over at her place quite a bit, though.
Okay, so tell me about the discussion that you had with her.
We went through a lot.
I don't. Listen.
initially-
I got things to do. I'm not interested in your personal matters. I want to know what you said to her and what she said to you about the money.
Okay. I had done a lot for her, and she felt that she wanted to repay me back
Don't tell me
with a
what she
gift.
felt. Listen to me. First, I want to know what you said to her. Something like, "Wow, I just got served with these divorce papers, and I have 90 days in which to respond to these divorce papers. I need a lawyer, and I have no money." Do you understand what I'm saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
Somehow that had to happen before she had feelings that she wanted to help you. She had to know about the service of the papers and that you needed money for a lawyer. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
So let us start with there.
Okay.
Good.
She was witness to me getting the papers, and she knew I was trying to
Don't tell me what she knew. She was a witness to you being served.
Correct.
Where were you served?
At my place of employment.
You mean she was picking up for lunch? What was she doing there when she was a witness to you?
I brought the papers over to her house that evening.
Then she wasn't a witness to you being served. You see, you got to be very careful what you say to
Okay.
me. She was not a witness to you being served, sir. You brought the papers home that night, and then you whip them out of your pocket and you say, ta-da.
I got served today.
Ah, there you go. I got served today. And she said to you,
What are you going to do about it?
and you said to her,
I'm going to try and get the funds from a family member or possibly a loan.
what family member was going to loan you money?
My sister.
Did you ask your sister?
No.
Why not?
Hadn't got there yet.
And she said to you,
She asked what I had done, and I looked into getting my own loan. Unfortunately, my wife at the time had scrapped a lot of our credit in the meantime.
so you were prepared to take out your own loan because you knew you had to have a lawyer, right?
Yep.
But for the fact that your ex-wife, or your wife, soon-to-be ex-wife, who she didn't know at the time, right? You didn't know her at the time.
Not personally, no, Your Honor.
No. But for the fact that she had scrapped your credit, you would have been able to get a loan and thoroughly anticipating paying it back.
Sure.
Of course. You can take out a loan without paying it back, right? Mm-hmm. So tell me about the discussion where you said to her, well, if you take out a personal loan, because you knew she was taking out a personal loan, right? Just like you were going to take out. What are you looking at me like I'm talking a foreign language? I'm still
Because I'm
talking
sure-
English.
I'm trying to keep
still
the
talking
time.
English. You know, the concept isn't very hard. This is the same kind of personal loan that you were trying to take out, and you couldn't because of the lousy credit that your wife had inflicted upon you.
Almost. I was going to take a second against the house, pay off all of our debt so that neither my ex-wife or myself were in debt. And
Well, she wasn't going to allow you to do that. To
And then
get a
sell the
listen to me.
house.
She wasn't going to allow you to. I know I gave you a minute to think, but you're not an idiot. I don't think you're an idiot. So your ex-wife is not going to allow you to take out a second mortgage on the house in order to pay for a lawyer to fight her. That would be very dumb. And your soon-to-be ex-wife doesn't sound like she's dumb.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I wanted my space. I didn't think she was the right one to introduce to my daughter.
And what'd you take her money for?
We had spent some time.
Why did you take her money?
And later today,
According to your answer, you said that when he said to you, you have to pay me for this job, you said to him,
I said, are you kidding? I've been supporting you for a year and a half.
right on!
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Janelle Avila says ex-boyfriend Jacob Johnston owes for a loan to hire a lawyer. Jacob claims Janelle offered the money.
How many payments did you give her on this loan?
I don't remember making any payments to her.
How many payments did he make?
One, Your Honor.
When?
The first payment due July 5th, 2004. He paid
That
me.
sound familiar to you, sir?
I remember giving her $200 because she was tight. I didn't expect to be paying back anything at that point.
Well, when did you decide, Mr. Johnston, that you no longer wanted to be involved with Miss Avila?
After she became aggressive and upset
Month
because
and year.
June of '04.
So within 4 weeks or so of getting this money, you took a hike.
I had taken a hike prior to that.
Tell me about that, sir.
We spent a lot of time up until the end together up until the end of '04.
Listen to me.
I had
May of '04, you took the check, paid for the lawyer. Listen to what you're saying to me, sir. Be very, very careful, because you said to me that you were served with the papers May 6th.
So
you took the papers and you brought them home and showed them to her and said, gee, I got served. So at what point had you broken up prior to that?
Okay, so at the end of 04, December, I had stopped spending nearly as much time with her and told her that I needed more space, and I didn't
Well, what
think...
was June of 04 that you just told me about, sir?
03.
Shh.
Or 03, excuse me, I'm sorry. Thank you for correcting me. We weren't spending nearly as much time.
You're talking about in December of 2003. Go ahead.
I wanted my space. I didn't think she was the right one to introduce to my daughter.
Then what'd you take her money for?
We had spent some time...
Why did you take her money?
Because I'd helped her out through a lot of difficult times, and she asked if she could give me the money because of all the help I had given her.
Is that right?
No, Your Honor.
See, I knew I was going to let you talk. Let's talk about character. You're not supposed to use people, Mr. Johnston.
It's never my intention to use her.
It was. When you put someone in debt in order to satisfy your need, when you have no legitimate intentions, because she had legitimate intentions, she still cared about you, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
I still cared about her, too.
That's not what you just told me. You said I needed my, listen to me, I needed my space. I didn't think she was the one to introduce to my daughter. All of those things, then you don't put her in debt. And once you're back to work, and if you did stop seeing her 4 weeks later, you say, Janelle, listen, at the time, I really needed the money. I thank you for taking out this personal loan. I don't want you to be behind the 8 ball. I'm going to pick up the payments because I had thoroughly intended to take out a loan myself to pay a lawyer. And since I couldn't get the credit, you were great to help me out. But I'm going to take over the payments. We're no longer together. We're not related to each other. I'm not going to see you anymore. I'm moving on with my life. I don't want you to feel as if you've been put upon. Do you understand? That's being a moral person. So I wouldn't allow you to represent toilet paper, sir. Because that's what I think of your moral character if you stuck her with this loan. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Perhaps he had no money to repay since he wasn't working. You know, you can't get blood out of a turnip.
It comes back to some of those personal issues that I'd rather not bring up.
Ladies, if you see this man coming, hang on to your money and run the other way.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hansen versus Fagan. Step forward, please.
Plaintiff Norman Hansen is suing his ex-girlfriend, hairstylist Lisa Fagan, for the cost to renovate her salon. Norman claims he did the work and was never paid.
Mr. Hansen, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time in her home, and it is your claim that while you were together, you did work for her in remodeling her salon. Is that a beauty salon?
Yes, ma'am.
And there was an agreement that she would pay you for that remodeling work. You finished the work. She didn't pay you.
True.
That's your claim. How old are you, Mr. Hansen?
I'm 58 years old.
And when did you move into Miss Fagan's home?
Probably about a year prior to...
What year did you move into her home?
2003, the end of 2003.
How long had you known her before?
About 20 months.
And how long did you live with her?
Approximately a year, a little less, on and off.
What do you mean on and off?
Well, whenever she'd go out and meet somebody else, she'd give me the boot, and then he'd leave her. She'd call me back. That's the
And
way
you
it
went?
Yes.
You weren't living with her. Where were you living?
I had my own home in Interlaken, about 40 minutes away from her home.
For most of the year, however, you lived with her.
It was more convenient to live with her so I can get the projects done that she wanted done than having to travel back and forth. And plus, I'm disabled, and I'm on a fixed income, and it's easier to move in and save money than go back and forth every day.
Now, what kind of projects were you doing for her?
Okay, I built a privacy fence around the property.
And when did you do that? How long had you been living there?
It started around, I guess, March or April when she got her income tax check. We went up and bought the material, and I started.
What kind of privacy fence was it? Wood?
Yes.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It was.
Did you have to pour cement?
In some areas, yes.
And how big a fence was this?
Maybe 400 feet, 500 feet.
And what was the next project you did with her?
Then I built a 12 by 24 patio off the back of her porch.
Out of what material?
2 by 6s, 2 by 4s, all treated.
Now, during that time, sir, because these projects kept you very busy, while you were living there with Miss Fagan, I assume it is correct that you were not paying any part of the mortgage, gas, electric, or utilities. Is that right?
Well, at first I was paying like $100 a month.
$100 a month?
One time, Your Honor, I got that.
Twice.
One time.
Twice. He says twice. Give him twice. He gave you $100 a month. That comes out to a little less than $25 a week. Is that right, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So we know that that's not really supporting yourself.
No.
Now, what was your main job, Mr. Hansen?
In the salon?
No, your main job. How do you support yourself? You're 58 years old.
I'm on disability.
What's the nature of your disability?
I had a broken tailbone. That's the nature of my disability. I got a broken tailbone.
Well, what does the broken tailbone disable you from doing?
Almost everything up to about 3 years ago. And I...
Just a second. If you're building 500-foot fences...
Yes.
And putting in 20 by 30 patios...
Yes.
And single-handedly remodeling a salon...
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, are you disabled from building skyscrapers? Are you disabled from building bridges?
He's lying, Your Honor, to get money from the government.
Well, I'm trying to figure that out, Miss Fagan.
I don't believe
you
this.
get disability from whom, sir?
I get it from the government.
How much do you get?
I get $5.79 a month.
And when did you start to collect that?
94.
But now you're not disabled anymore.
I'm still disabled.
No, you're not disabled anymore. You just told me you weren't disabled. You just told me that you did construction work.
With exercise, I go through a lot of pain and suffering, but I'm able to walk. At times, I had to use a cane. I used to have to use crutches. I worked myself off of that.
Good. Well, that's good. That's wonderful.
Get a job.
How come you don't tell the government you don't need their charity anymore, sir?
It isn't charity.
Sure it is.
When the bad weather comes, I can hardly move around. It changes like the weather.
My goodness gracious me.
It might seem like right now, because it's nice and dry, everything's fine, but I still got pain. I still got to walk with it.
That's life, Mr. Hansen. As we get older, we get aches and pains. But if you can build a 500-foot fence and a 20 by 30 patio and remodel a salon, you should not be getting money from the government because you're disabled. Now, when you told her you wanted money for this salon, and you were living together at the time, sharing a bedroom, I assume, what did she say to you?
She come out and asked me in her house if do I think I could do that concrete building, renovate it, and convert it into a salon. I said, sure I can.
Sure, as long as the weather's dry. Just wait,
Okay.
Not when it's raining. Did you say to her, I'm sure I could do that, but I can't work when it's raining?
It's harder when it's raining.
Go ahead, keep going.
Okay. She asked me how much do I want to do the job. I said, well, make me an offer I can't refuse. She said $15 an hour. I said, okay, let's go with it. And that's what we did.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening.
Where do I begin? What would you like to know?
No, just say to him, when he said, why don't you, according to your answer, you said that when he said to you, you have to pay me for this job, you said to him...
I said, are you kidding? I've been supporting you for a year and a half.
Right on! No, you and the government had been supporting him. The only one who wasn't supporting him is Mr. Hansen. You're 58 years old. It's time you grew up, sir, and decide, I am a human being, I am a man, I have a responsibility to take care of myself. Not the government, not Miss Fagan, not anybody else. Get a job, call the government and tell them you no longer need their disability, because certainly we're going to send them a copy of this tape and let them know that you no longer need any disability,
Fine.
Mr. Hansen. And get a job and take care of yourself. It's time, sir. Otherwise, you'll never know what it's like to be independent, and then you're going to die. Do you understand? Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step.
Michael Tuck is suing former employer, restaurant owner Karina Bassett, for illegally firing him from his job playing Santa Claus. Karina says Michael was a bad Santa.
All rise.
Now, this is case number 413 on the calendar in the matter of Tuck versus Bassett. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
Mrs. Bassett, what kind of establishment do you own?
We run a food establishment. It's a restaurant.
A restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
How many people does it seat?
About 200 to 250.
All right, Mr. Tuck, this is your complaint. Miss Bassett hired you around Christmas time to be a Santa Claus in her place of business. And you went there, you performed once as Santa Claus, and you were supposed to be available 4 weeks in a row. You did what you did with the customers once, and you were told not to come back because Miss Bassett wasn't satisfied with your performance. Miss Bassett says that she wasn't satisfied with your performance. She paid you the $125 that you earned that evening by being there, but she had serious misgivings about whether or not you would be an asset to her establishment for the remainder of the Christmas season. You did, in fact, hire somebody else.
That's correct.
Okay. I think the whole thing involves, at least part of it, was this tip jar, which I see out here, which is something that has to do with Santa Claus. Can I see that thing over there, please? Thank you. Bird, what does that say in there?
Santa's Eggnog Fund Tips.
Did you prepare that, Mr. Tuck?
Actually, my wife did.
Okay. Did you tell her that it was in bad taste?
Well, I had received a $3 tip for one particular person, and I didn't have any place to put it.
Well, but were you expecting tips when you signed on for this job?
No, I never.
So why didn't you return the $3 tip and said, Santa doesn't take tips? Santa loves little children.
Well, it was from the father.
Loud enough for the child to hear you. Santa doesn't take tips. Santa
Well, the
doesn't.
children, it was in a discreet manner, and that's why I tried to quickly dispose of it in my glove.
Good. So you quickly disposed of it in your glove, and then your wife made a jar for more.
Well, it was, I thought it was a rather unusual opportunity.
Well, it's not. It's ridiculous. I used to take my children to see Santa Claus all the time when they were little. Never once did I see a Santa Claus tip jar. Mr. Tuck, how many times have you played Santa before?
I had played a number of times the previous season.
Where?
In the same community.
Name of this place?
In December 2005, there were different Boy Scout troops, churches.
Give me the name of a place that I can call where you played Santa Claus, sir.
Okay, off the top of my head from 2005, I don't immediately recall.
2004.
I did not previously do that.
So this was your first paid engagement as Santa Claus?
No, I had a number of paid engagements in 2005.
But you don't remember any of them? Put your hand down, madam. It's not you who was hired. Ms. Bassett, in her answer, says that she was unhappy with the performance. Why?
Well, first of all, he came in, he sat down, didn't approach kids. He was drinking Coke, okay? Then customers would come and approach us and said, you know, we want to take a picture of our kid with Santa, but there's a tip jar over there. Which, I mean, who does that?
No.
Santa don't ask for tips. So after the night was over, we sat down and we discussed it, me, my managers, and my crew, and we decided, you know, people weren't happy. He wasn't cheerful. He wasn't approaching, again, the kids. He was drinking Coke by the popcorn machine, and that's all he did.
Okay. Did you have a written contract with him?
No.
You agreed to pay him $125 each time he performed?
He was charging $25 an hour. We never agreed to a certain amount of hours a night.
Okay, $25 an hour, and he was there 5 hours, so you gave him $125?
That's correct.
Did you get $125?
Yes, I did.
Fine. You're suing her, Mr. Tuck, for $412.50 lost wages. What lost wages did you have?
Well, we had a verbal agreement in which she had agreed weeks in advance of the date in which we had began the process.
Mr. Tuck, what lost wages did you have, sir?
The $125 per day that remained.
Name a place that you turned down for a job because you had this previous engagement that I can call where you turned down a job. You weren't performing at her restaurant every night. Once a week, right? Once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, name. Put your hand down.
I did all his business.
Listen to me. I'll get to you in a minute. Name a place, Mr. Tuck, that I can call where you turned down business.
Dentistry for Kids was one that...
Dentistry for Kids?
Yes, they had requested the entire week, and because that one particular Tuesday was locked up with this client, they simply opted for Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
So did you work for them Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday?
Yes, I did.
Good for you. You want to get up?
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead. What?
We had a verbal agreement. She asked me back in October if we needed a contract because I handle all of his business. On October 27th, I have an email that I sent to her. Down here was the picture that was attached that she used to create advertisements that specifically list the dates and the times that he would be there. With the tip jar, what happened was I had dropped him off. I brought our family back up approximately 5 p.m. I dropped him off at 4. Our family came in to eat dinner. And he came over to me and he said, what do I do with this? He handed me the $3. I went back home. I got the Santa mug that the kids usually leave for...
I got what happened, madam.
Well,
what
it was not prepared.
It was prepared?
It was not prepared prior to the engagement. It was only after our family went for dinner that I went home and I decorated
I understand exactly what you're saying. He put it out. It was out in the restaurant while he was working. Put it down. It was out in the restaurant while he was working.
Completely away from where the customers were.
I don't care whether it was completely away or not. You're not faced with a situation where Miss Bassett didn't want a Santa Claus in her establishment. She hired somebody else.
She's misrepresenting that because I asked her how she felt it went. She thought it was fine.
Listen to me. Why do you think she let him go and hired somebody else to work the weeks that he was supposed to work?
When we left, She said, I'll see you next Tuesday. She
and
said
then
that.
she spoke to her employees, and it didn't go well.
But
listen to me. My question to you is, why do you think she let your husband go and hired somebody else to work those weeks?
She did not have a Santa that following Tuesday. People from the community showed up, and we had already filed the small claims, and that is when she hired the other Santa. We talked to the other Santa.
Why do you think she went? You're not answering my question, Miss. Listen, Miss Tuck. You're not answering my question.
She hired the other one because children came to see Santa that following Tuesday, and there was no Santa.
So she could have hired... You're not getting it.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
If all you're doing is playing Santa Claus, you would remember those things. There's a reason that he doesn't remember. Don't go any further, Miss Tuck. I'm promising you that you should not go further.
And later today...
Why don't you think that you have a responsibility, Mr. Scott, to pay back this money instead of buying those great shoes? You get my drift?
Yes, ma'am.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Michael Tuck claims former employer Karina Bassett owes for illegally firing him from his job playing Santa Claus. Karina says Michael was soliciting tips from customers.
She was dissatisfied with his service.
She was not.
Yes, she was dissatisfied with his service. Otherwise, there was absolutely no reason. And he gave her cause. She's entitled to not continue your services, sir. If she didn't continue your services, she didn't continue them for cause, because this tip jar is the most ridiculous thing I ever saw. And he's not entitled to a job. He's not entitled to a job unless you have a written employment contract, which you do not have. And I do not believe, quite frankly, that he turned down other jobs for Tuesday night, because there's a reason that he doesn't remember.
When he
listen, he's retired. You're a homemaker.
Yes.
If all you're doing is playing Santa Claus, you would remember those things, unless there's a problem. Don't go any further, Miss Tuck. I'm promising you that you should not go further. There's a reason why she did not continue with his employment. Leave it at that. He worked one day. He was paid for that one day. Leave it at that. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I had a lot of complaints about the tip jar.
Something in poor taste can easily be resolved by simply saying, don't bring the tip cut.
And if, you're not doing the right thing, we need to let you go.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Anderson versus Scott, step forward, please.
Christine Anderson is suing her older sister, Jennifer Scott, for $5,000 in unpaid loans. Jennifer claims the money was part investment and part gift.
Miss Anderson, this is your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
Older or younger?
Oldest.
According to your complaint, you made 2 loans to her. One to help her cover her mortgage when she was starting a new business. She fell behind in her bills. And the other when she needed some money so that she could continue her business. You want your money back.
Yes, ma'am.
Your sister says, while she does acknowledge that you paid her mortgage twice, she said you did so as a gift to her. There was never any expectation of being repaid. And with regard to the second amount of money that you gave to her, it was a business investment. And because of her own negligence, all of her product got stolen, so you lost your investment. That be a fair statement?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You married lady?
Yes, ma'am.
Have children?
2.
What does your husband do for a living?
He works for the city.
What about you?
I'm a daycare owner.
You own your own home?
Mm-hmm.
Have a mortgage?
Mm-hmm.
How big?
It's not compared to what they have here. It's about $120,000.
It's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
How much do you earn a year? About
$60,000.
And your husband?
About 45.
Got a lot of savings?
Not really.
Have a car?
Mm-hmm. Payment.
What kind of car?
2005 Tahoe.
And what about your husband?
He has a 2002 F-150. Payments on it.
How old are your children?
7 and 4.
And you? Married?
Yes, ma'am.
Husband?
Yes.
How long are you married?
4 years.
Have children?
Yes.
How old?
17, 9, and 2 2-year-olds and 1 on the way.
What does your husband do for a living?
He's a barber.
What do you do for a living?
We own a business together.
What kind of business?
Hair business.
What kind of hair business?
He cuts hair. It's a shop.
Is this your husband?
Yes.
So you work in the shop with him?
No, ma'am. I stay home. My name's just on the business.
So you have a 17-year-old, a 9-year-old, twin to a 2, and you're expecting another child?
Correct. Well,
a lot of children. For somebody that can't afford to keep up their bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Lot. Okay. Tell me about the first amount of money that you gave to your sister.
The first one I did was about the 20th of the month of June last year, and she hadn't paid her mortgage yet. She couldn't afford to pay it, So I offered to help her. I said, you know, I'm going to need.
Tell me how that came about.
Well, we talked on the phone a lot. We were close at one point, you know, and she just said basically that things had gone downhill. The shop wasn't making as much money at the time, and she fell behind on her mortgage. And it was already the 20th month. She didn't know what she was going to do. I said, well, I can help you, but how fast do you think you could pay it back? She said, oh, you know, within a couple months, no problem. At the time, she was going to New York and buying handbags, and she'd bring them back to her shop and sell them for much higher markup. And according to my dad, who is a retired chief of police, she was doing really well because he lives up in Michigan with her too. So I had no reason to doubt it. So I went ahead and I phone paid her mortgage for her, and I have that.
Can I see it, please?
Yep. And when I had paid it, I called her back and I said, it's highlighted. I said I went ahead and...
You want to stand up with your wife, please?
I went ahead and I paid, you know, the mortgage. She said, well, Chris, it is the 20 whatever of the month. You know, that was for this month. And I said, so you need another month? And she said, yeah. And I said, let me see what I can do, you know. And so I went through my bills and stuff, and I said, well, I'll go ahead and I'll write you a check and I'll send it. I have that.
Can I see it, please? She doesn't deny it, that you gave her that money. She said it was a gift. Okay. Let me...
You have my bank statements, ma'am?
I got it.
You can see that I don't have that kind of gift.
I got it. No, I got it.
Okay, so okay, sorry.
So let me hear.
Well...
What months was this that you fell short? June of 2005?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Scott, you were living in the house?
Yes, ma'am.
You lived in a house where your sister-in-law paid the mortgage?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of responsibility do you feel as the man of the house, as the head of the household, to pay her back?
As far as I knew, it was just, she just gave us the money.
She was helping us
That's
out.
not what I asked, madam. I asked him, he's living in a house with his children and his wife and his sister-in-law, who's a working woman with a working husband, just like you are. I mean, the fact that you made all these children, she doesn't have to suffer for that. She's got 2 children. You got a whole gaggle of children. So why don't you think that you have a responsibility, Mr. Scott, to pay back this money?
Because she never expressed it in that way.
I'm not asking you whether you believe that there was a loan. I'm asking you, Mr. Scott, why it is that you don't believe you have, irrespective of what I decide today, the moral obligation to say, I'm not going to be supported by my sister-in-law. That's ridiculous. She doesn't have any obligation to support me. She's a struggling lady, just like we are. She's got house payments, she's got car payments, she's got everything else. I fell off a little bit. You know, it may take me a little time. I'll send you $50 here and $100 there in order to get it paid up. That's what I'm asking you, sir, instead of buying those great shoes. You get my drift?
Yes, ma'am.
If you got enough time to make another baby, sir, you got enough time to get another job. Sit down. You owe your sister the mortgage money. Outrageous. Now, after you gave her the mortgage money, let's get to the other stupidity. After you gave her the mortgage money that she didn't pay back, let me hear the rest.
After that, it was a few weeks later, she called and she said, you know, just business isn't picking up. I don't have the money to go to New York again. It cost me at least $700 to make the trip. You know, she was going like every couple weeks to New York to get these things. She should have just saved the money and made one gigantic trip, but she didn't. Anyway, she needed money to get up there to make money to pay me back. And
so it was insurance?
Yes. My husband was really already upset about it. So this was the best way possible I knew to help her, help herself, and help get the money back for us.
So you gave her another what?
First, it was $1,000, and then 3 days later, it was $2,000 more, which I have bank transfers here. These are not gifts. This is...
Okay.
Then she came down in November, and I brought my mom with me today as my witness to this. She came down for Thanksgiving, I think it was, and everything was fine for the couple days, and then all of a sudden, we ended up getting into it over the money. You know, my husband and I we couldn't handle it no more. We needed the money back. And she ended up writing me a check for $600 because it was total, if you total all this up, it was $5,700. She wrote me a check for $655. I deposited into the bank. She ended up leaving and didn't even say goodbye to my mom. You know, she was just so upset or whatever. She felt like I was being horrible about the whole situation, that I wanted the money back. When this was from the jump, this was not an investment. This was a loan. This was trying to help her help herself. And
let's go. I'm ready to hear you.
It was an investment.
Let me hear.
She gave me the money as an investment. She was helping me out. I was supposed to pay her back the money from that money. From the $3,000, I was supposed to pay back, you know, what I owed her from that money. Well, what happened...
Listen to me. There's something else going on with your sister. I'm telling you.
Like what?
I'm not going there. I'm telling you, there's something else going on with your sister.
Well, go there, because, I mean, you're insinuating. What are you insinuating?
I'm insinuating, madam, that...
What are you insinuating?
I want to see the police report where you say you brought a woman into your house who ended up stealing your car and all the product that you... I'm speaking.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
I'm speaking. It ended up stealing your car and all the products that you had purchased, and that's why you couldn't pay her back. So that was
We made a couple trips. I asked for. I already requested the police report. It didn't get here in time. But we had made a couple trips during that time with that $3,000, and I had got caught up on my bills with that money. And then we made one big trip, and when we came back, I was helping somebody out, you know, that was in our home. When we came back from New York,
who were you helping out that was in your home?
It was a friend of ours. Well, she was, you know.
Something else is going on. I don't have to get into it now. It's totally irrelevant, really, to this, but your money was going maybe to pocketbooks.
What I was told about the whole car theft situation was this lady, she let her friend use her car. Her friend never came back.
Listen to me.
That's not even what happened. She's lying.
Listen to me.
She's lying.
Listen
we came back
me.
from
Listen to me.
We came back from New York.
It's not relevant. Particularly relevant. I'm just telling you something else is going on. Anyway, your sister owes you the money. The fact that she decided not to pay you after she took the money from you is unfortunate. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Oh. John Allen is suing his ex-friend, Karen Stevenson, for a loan to keep her from going to jail. Karen claims the loan never took place.
All rise.
Yes, case number 472 on the calendar in the matter of Allen versus Stevenson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Have a seat, please.
Mr. Allen, it is your claim that the defendant borrowed some money from you. She's a former girlfriend of yours. Ms. Stevenson says that you're a con guy. She never borrowed any money from you. She doesn't know what you're talking about. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Go.
Okay. Yes, we were boyfriend and girlfriend, and we decided to part ways, and we remained friends. On about the middle of September, about a week before I actually loaned her the money, she called me in desperation and said Lisa had taken a checkbook that no longer existed, a checking account, wrote a check out for $1,800. She needed money, that the bank was pressing charges, and
she wrote out a bad check?
Yes, Lisa.
Is Lisa here?
No.
Where is she?
She lives in Florida.
Who does she live with in Florida?
Herself.
What does she do for a living?
She's a cashier.
Ever been arrested?
No.
Ever been charged with a crime?
Lisa? No.
Lisa?
No.
Okay. Go ahead.
So at the time, when she called me, she said, I need this money. If I don't pay this $1,800 back.
For Lisa?
For Lisa, they're going to arrest me because it was drawn on my bank account. So...
Oh, just a minute. Where do you live?
Salisbury, Maryland.
You live in Maryland, and somehow Lisa got hold of one of her old checkbooks.
Yes, ma'am.
And Lisa forged a check for $1,800.
Yes.
But there was no longer an account.
Yes, ma'am.
And Lisa cashed a check in Florida.
Somewhere, I don't know actually, when she said, but it was a check written on this account, and it bounced, so the bank was going to press charges, and if she didn't pay the money back, they were going to put her in jail.
Put who in jail?
Karen.
It's not true.
She didn't write a bad check.
Well, that's what she told me, ma'am.
That sounds ridiculous.
Okay.
I mean, doesn't that sound ridiculous? How old are you?
I'm be 42 in March, ma'am.
42. What do you do for a living?
I have a few businesses. I'm going back to school, getting my real estate degree, and
What kind of businesses do you have?
I have a business running a company. I started in 1990.
What does it make? What does it do?
Well, I buy and resell food as like a Cisco or a U.S. food service.
You do that now?
No, right now I am in the process of going back to school. The company
So now you don't do anything?
No, the company still exists. I'm collecting my accounts receivables and stuff like that. Yes, ma'am. I'm still in the process. I have real estate I'm selling. I do various different things.
Who do you live with?
I live with my brother right now in the process of selling my real estate.
You're in a process of doing an awful lot, Mr. Allen.
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Are you in the process of going through a bankruptcy?
No, ma'am.
Did you go through a bankruptcy?
No, ma'am, I haven't.
Did you ever apply for a bankruptcy?
No,
Did you
ma'am.
ever consult with a lawyer about a bankruptcy?
Yes, I have.
When?
I consulted with my lawyer in August, September, October, just discussing...
September of 2006?
Yes, ma'am.
About the same time that she was asking for some money?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, why would you consult with an attorney about a bankruptcy, sir?
I'd just gone through a divorce. That the settlement of property had to be dispersed. I had loans with my company, just seeking my different options, out there. It was discussed, but it was never gone through. I'm in a process of selling my assets to pay debts. That was my choice to do it that way. I want to make sure all of my bills are paid. That's why I'm selling my home, other real estate. I have a $1.5 million piece of business real estate that I'm in the process of selling.
What's the mortgage on it?
$790,000.
When did you purchase it?
I purchased it in June of '04.
In whose name is it?
It's in my company's name.
Which is?
Paradise Produce Company Incorporated.
Who else is a partner in Paradise Produce?
Nobody. I'm 100% owner.
You're current on your mortgage payments?
Not at this time, no. They are in the process of being sold right now.
Is there a contract for the sale of the property?
Yes, there is a contract for the sale of the property. It's pending on other things, that's going on in the community. So,
You
But
got
there
a
is a
lot going. You got a lot going
Yes,
on
ma'am,
in
I
your
do.
life, Mr.
I'm a very
Earl.
active man.
You're got a lot going on.
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay, so she asked you for this $1,800, and what did you do, sir? I just wanted to get a sense, because I have to figure out who's pulling my leg and who's not.
I wrote her this check out from one of my bank accounts. I have numerous bank accounts because I have personal things, business things, and all that. And I actually wrote it out to her name and put loan on the memo. I handed this check to her on September 26th, and she took it, and I said, you can go right down the road and cash this check out of my bank.
Where did you give it to her?
I gave it to her in the shopping center parking lot. I met her in Del Mar, Delaware, on the Delaware side. So that night, she called me back. She said, well, I don't think I can cash this check. I've lost my license, and I don't have a current checking account. I said, well, you can go right to the bank and cash this. I said, I made it out to you, and there's money in the checking account. She said, no, I'd rather you go to the bank and cash a check. And I said, well, let me think about it. And I said, but I would need this other check back. So the next day, I went to Laurie. This is my witness, Laurie Collins. Can I bring her forward, Judge? Or?
Who are you?
I'm a friend of John's.
What kind of a friend?
Close family friend for over 30 years.
Okay, go ahead.
So I went by Laurie's house. I discussed it with Laurie. I said, Laurie, I'm going to probably loan some money. I have loaned some money. She wants me to take the check back and go to the bank and cash the check and give her the $1,800. And Laurie said, well, just make sure that you keep this check here, the first check, if she gives it back to you.
First check is of no value.
Right.
Unless I could test for fingerprints on it.
Right. And then the second check is I wrote her name in a memo that I cashed this check. Here's
Yeah, well, that's what you wrote.
And I went to the
You
bank.
cashed the check and wrote her name in the memo.
Right. So I told Laurie, I said, Laurie, I have loaned this lady some money. I said, as a friend, I just wanted somebody to know that I had loaned her the money.
Was she there when you gave her the money?
No, ma'am.
Good, sit down.
And at the time I wrote the check out, I have bank accounts with different amount of figures in it. You know, right now, $25,000 on this. If I needed it, she claims that I needed the money for myself. I don't need it.
Just show me the account where you took out the $1,800.
Yes, right there.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Pool tables, big screen TV, living room furniture, kitchen furniture, all that stuff has been auctioned off.
They've been auctioned off by whom?
An auctioneer.
And later today,
The only money that's owed is owed for the television.
Not entirely.
Most of it is for the television.
I guess you could say that.
Yeah, right.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Allen claims former friend Karen Stevenson owes for a loan of $1,800.
Okay.
Your Honor, he states that the first check that he wrote me, he had $1,800 in that account. That's the check he first gave me. I subpoenaed his bank records. $1,800 was not in there. He had
Can I see it, please?
Yes, ma'am. He had $72.79 in that
Let me
account.
see. Can I see that check, please? Sir, you wrote her a check on 9/26 for $1,800. You didn't have $1,800 in that account.
Right.
On which you wrote this $1,800 check.
Right.
Well, why would you write her an $1,800 check and tell her to go?
Because I was going to make a deposit in the account. I moved money from different checking accounts. I have interest-bearing accounts with my business and everything like that. I move money when I need money to pay bills like
Yeah,
in
but
the
you
business.
didn't move any money here, sir. You didn't move any money here. 3 days later...
She gave me the check back because she said that she couldn't cash it.
I understand that.
Because she didn't
Well,
have a
listen to
license.
me.
Yes, ma'am.
That was not the same day, sir. You already testified. It was the next day that she called you and said, I don't have a driver's license,
ma'am.
and therefore I can't cash this check.
Right.
Now, you had already told her to go and cash the check, which she could have done on 9/26.
That's right. That's right.
Okay? On 9/26, if she went to your bank,
Yes, ma'am.
and deposited that check, they would not have cashed that check because there was no balance in
They
that
could have
account.
moved the money from my business account, which is with the same bank, to cover my overdraft.
There's no overdraft privilege in here.
I'm sorry. I did lend this lady some money.
Go ahead.
He also says he gave me the $1,800. I was leaving that day to go out of town for a wedding. I was running around getting my nails done, my hair done. He didn't give me $1,800.
Okay.
Sorry.
Now, let's start out with the conversation that you had with him about Lisa.
There was no conversation about Lisa. He knows she was in town for maybe a week or two. She moved back to Florida. I don't have a checking account. I don't have any checks. I haven't had a checking account in 3 years.
So you never had a discussion with him about a loan?
No.
Never had a discussion with him about giving you any money?
No.
Why do you think he would make up this convoluted story?
Your Honor, his business account had been frozen because he owes so many people money. okay? He couldn't even make payroll. John and I continued to talk. We were good friends. He wanted me to help him take the money out of his county bank and put in a safety deposit box, put in my name, and he wanted to put the cash in there so they couldn't touch that money. Then I told him I didn't want to be involved in that because they're going to want to know where this $21,000 is. I didn't want that in my name. I didn't want any part of that. He tried to get several people to do that, and I wouldn't do it.
So what you're saying is he tried to get several people to accept checks?
Yes.
From him?
Yes.
And squirrel away the money?
Yes.
In the event he decided to go through this with this bankruptcy?
Absolutely.
Keep going.
I mean, he says in one statement that I was supposed to pay him back in 2 weeks. John and I continued to be friends. He had a surprise birthday party for his brother. I was invited.
Don't tell me. Just tell me about the money.
There was no money.
Okay. When you told him that you didn't want to participate in this scheme,
yes,
what did he say to you?
That he had a couple other people that were thinking about taking the money and putting it in a safety deposit box, storing his personal property so it wouldn't be auctioned off, which it has been.
What personal property did he want to store with you?
Pool tables, big screen TV, four-wheeler, living room furniture, kitchen furniture, I mean, bedroom suites. He had a 2-story house fully furnished. All that stuff has been auctioned off.
They've been auctioned off by whom?
An auctioneer.
At whose?
I guess at his request. I really don't know. I know that his house was for sale.
Did you have an auction?
Yes, ma'am, I did. To pay my debts and everything. The pool table, big screen TV, all that stuff was auctioned off to pay debts that I incurred during the divorce. I'm in process of selling 2 pieces of property, a business piece of property, all my assets to pay my debts. I am not filing for bankruptcy. I am
Well,
going to be
it's a little more difficult now to file for bankruptcy,
Yes, ma'am.
sir, because what you're suggesting to me is if you own a piece of property that's worth $1.5 million and you have a $790,000 mortgage,
Yes, ma'am.
if you file for bankruptcy, you're not going to see any of that money.
Yes, ma'am.
So in order to see any of that money, if you pay off your creditors now, then you'll be able to maybe walk away with a couple $100,000.
No, ma'am, I'm not going to walk away with anything. My assets are about $2.2 million. I owe about 2.1. So, time I pay auctioneers, you know, realtors, all that stuff.
So it doesn't pay for you. So you have assets of $2 million and you have debts of about the same. So you can't go into bankruptcy. That doesn't mean you're bankrupt. It just means that you have to go to work. My problem, Mr. Allen, is you seem to be a businessman.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Business people, you have mortgages, you have attorneys, you have all kinds of other things, and you're not unfamiliar with court.
Yes, ma'am.
So here you come to a court and you say, I made a loan to this lady. Put your hand down. I made a loan to this lady. I did not memorialize that loan in any way. This check is of no value.
Right.
Because she never endorsed it. I can take out my checkbook and write out a check to Petrie Hawkins Bird in the amount of $10,000 and say, I gave him this check.
Right.
He gave it back to me, and I gave him the 10 grand in cash. And this is some evidence that I gave him that money, right?
Right.
I didn't give you any money, did I? No. So this is evidence of nothing.
Right.
The only evidence that it is, sir, is that she subpoenaed this bank account, which says at the time you allegedly wrote this check out to her, you didn't have sufficient money to cover the check in the bank.
Right.
Now, you did have another bank
Yes, ma'am.
where you could have written a check that would have cleared.
Right.
As a matter of fact, according to you, you did just that 3 days later. You didn't go to this bank where you could have moved money around. You went to this bank where you took out $1,800. All of this leaves me with a very uneasy feeling, Mr. Allen.
Yes, ma'am.
And if I have a very uneasy feeling, sir, the fact that you brought a witness that says that you told her all about this loan is of no value. So, Mr. Allen, it is possible, just possible, that you loaned her $1,800.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
You understand my problem with your proof, sir?
I understand. I understand.
Are you sympathetic with me, sir?
Yes.
Good. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Well, I'm not very happy about it, but it's $1,800 lesson, I guess, and not loan money to friends who are supposed to be your friend.
He doesn't like my boyfriend.
People that are scammers will scam, and she'll continue to scam the rest of her life.
They were good friends, and I'm not dating John anymore. I'm dating a friend of his.
I really don't want to be associated with people like that.
It just didn't work out, but I'm better off without him in my life.
People should watch out for a lady like her, because she is a scammer.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lawson versus Lemos, step forward, please.
Christine Lawson is suing her ex-boyfriend, Joseph Lemos, for the cost of a big screen TV they purchased as a couple. Joseph says when they broke up, Christine kept the TV.
Miss Lawson, this gentleman used to be your boyfriend. You lived together for a period of time. Something happened while you were living together with your TV. You claimed that he wanted to buy a big screen TV. You put it on a credit card. You allowed him to use the credit card. He used it not only for the TV, but for some other things. He paid for the other things that he used. Ultimately, he paid off the credit card up to the amount of the TV after you broke up, and then he stopped paying for the TV. You want him to pay for the television. Sounds very reasonable, right?
Yes.
Except that you have the TV.
Correct.
So, I'm confused. Mr. Lema says that he did, in fact, use the credit card to purchase some other things. Even after you broke up, he continued to make payments on the credit card until he had paid off all of the items he had purchased, but for the television.
Correct.
And the reason he didn't pay for the television is because you have the television. When did you break up?
It's about April or May of 2006.
And when was the television purchased?
August of 2004.
So you've been watching the television?
Correct.
In your house?
Yes.
Why don't you pay for it?
I never wanted it. I don't like it. I would love to give it back to him, but I don't have, I'm using it as collateral, I guess, to get the rest of the money that he owes me.
The only money that's owed is owed for the television.
Not entirely.
Most of it is for the television.
I guess you could say that.
What you want me to believe, Miss Lawson, is that he said to you, you can keep this $3,000 television and watch it, and I'm going to make the payments on it.
No, that's not how the conversation actually
Well, tell me how the conversation actually went.
Okay. When we broke up, there was still about $4,000 on the credit card, which, as you said, there was multiple things on there. He was paying me up until September of 2006.
Correct,
He was
and then he
making payments.
stopped. Right.
And he wanted to take his TV, which would have been fine to me. However, I couldn't guarantee that I would get the rest of the money that he owed me if I handed over the TV. I had no way of contacting him. I had no cell phone number. The only way I had was email. Most of the emails that I had sent him were ignored.
He paid you for the 6 months.
Well, he was paying on multiple things. That wasn't the only thing on there.
He paid the credit card honorably.
Correct.
Until the only thing left was a television that you were watching.
Well, the television was...
And he wanted it back when you broke up.
Correct.
Well, then you're watching it. You pay for it. I mean, it's not rocket science.
Well, the amount owed on the credit card exceeded what the amount of the television was.
When?
When we broke up, when he stopped paying.
Come on, Miss Lawson. I just made it perfectly clear to you that there's an agreed set of facts, and the agreed set of facts are he paid until September when the only thing that remained on the credit card was the television set, which he had initially asked for when you broke up, which you declined to give him, which you've been watching and you've been using. You pay for it. That's all. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
23-year-old Kenneth Kip Pinette is suing his former friend, Stacy Schwartz, for taking his car without permission and damaging the transmission, the clutch, and one of the tires.
This is case number 456 on the calendar in the matter of Pinette versus Schwartz.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Mr. Pinette, you were at a party with the defendant. I assume she was a friend of yours, and it is your claim that she took your car without permission and wrecked it.
She didn't wreck it. She hit a curb and blew out a tire, and the transmission went out.
And Ms. Schwartz says that she had an unfortunate accident and that she might clearly be responsible for replacing a tire, but certainly not the transmission, since she had your permission and this accident was clearly not her fault.
Well, she did not have my permission.
Good. So let's go back. When was this party that you had?
A couple of months ago. It was a Friday night. It was at my house, and
Listen, Mr. Pinette, how old are you, sir?
23.
What do you do for a living?
I am a market analyst.
Ever been to court before, sir?
No, except for traffic tickets and...
Well, that's court. So, if you're a plaintiff and you have a claim, first thing you figure out is what date.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because the questions get harder after that, Mr. Pinette. So, a couple of months ago on a Friday night isn't a date.
I believe the date was December 14th, Your Honor.
That's a date. Now, it was on December 14th, 2006. Where were you?
At my house.
Who else was there?
I don't know the exact names, but a bunch of my friends.
And what were you all doing?
Drinking, watching TV, listening to music.
Great. Having a good time. Being responsible.
Yes.
What happened next?
Well, I didn't keep track of everybody around that night. I went to bed maybe around 1 or 2, and the next morning, Stacy called me and said that my car was broken down. I said, you know, how could that be? It should be in front of my house. And she said she was in Sunrise, which is about 20 miles away.
Where do you live?
Downtown Sacramento.
Go ahead.
She said it was broken down. She explained to me that she had taken my car the night before and that it had broken down the night before and that she had spent the night and was calling me in the morning. And I was...
Spent the night where?
At one of her friend's house, I assume.
Okay.
And I explained to her that she had better get my car back to me.
What kind of car do you have?
It's a Nissan Sentra.
Year?
1997. and she said she would. We exchanged words. I was a little upset, and then I fell back asleep. I didn't get my car back until the next day. She had it towed back to my house. At first, she hadn't even told me that a tire had blown out. I did see that for myself when it came to my house. Then she explained that to me. I had not given her permission to drive the car, so I was very upset.
Okay. Don't repeat anything.
Okay.
I have other things to do. Are you finished?
She had told me that she would pay for all damages. She was very apologetic at first, and I felt, like I would forgive her. I had it diagnosed, and she refused to pay it. She says she's not responsible for that.
You had it diagnosed. What was the bill?
It was $1,500, not $1,593.83. I'd originally said $1,600. It's I'd rounded when I looked at the receipt. It's actually $6.17 less than that.
Mr. Panett, how did you pay for this?
My father loaned me the money to pay for it, actually.
Did you pay for it in check or cash, sir?
I believe my father used his credit card to pay for it, and I had to pay my father back.
What's your father's name?
John Panett.
His phone number?
It's in my cell phone, I'm sorry.
Bird, would you please get his cell phone so that we can get the father's number, please? Thank you. And he's going to verify that he paid this bill, sir?
Yes,
when I
he
call
would.
him on the phone? Good. We're going to do that.
Okay.
In a minute.
Okay.
Now, I'll hear you, Miss Swartz.
On December 14th, I was hanging out at Kip's house, and I asked him if I could borrow his car to go over to Jessica's house.
Where does Jessica live?
A few blocks from his house.
And he said?
He said yes, he let me borrow it.
Good. So you understand, Miss Swartz,
That's a different place than she was. Excuse me, Your Honor.
You do understand, madam, that you did have limited authority to take his car to go to Jessica's house, which is a few blocks away. You understand that?
Yes. Yeah.
Now tell me what happened.
I drove over to Jessica's house and told her that I was using Kip's car, and she called me at 5 o'clock in the morning and woke me up.
At Jessica's house?
Yes. And told me she was drunk and stranded in Sunrise, so I didn't even think to call Kip and ask permission because he let me borrow his car. He knew I wasn't...
No, my dear.
He knew I wasn't going to bring it back until the morning, so I...
Darling!
Yes.
You get it now? You look as if you're smart enough to get where I'm going.
Yes, ma'am.
You went to pick up your friend in Sunrise. And how far is Sunrise from Jessica's house?
Approximately 20 miles.
20?
Miles.
Miles, not blocks, miles. And it was coming back with her, this drunken friend of yours, that you had the accident.
Yes.
Now tell me about the accident.
I was just driving and I was coasting, so I was in neutral. And then I tried to put it into gear and it would not go into gear. And I went to park immediately and I hit the curb and popped the tire. That was probably about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
You must have hit the curb very hard.
Well, yes, it was hard enough to pop the tire. And I immediately changed the tire. And since it was about 5:30 in the morning, my friend that I picked up just walked to her house because we were about a block away. And I slept in the car and called Kip about 9 o'clock in the morning to tell him that I was going to get his car towed back to him.
Let us assume that I believe you, that Mr. Panett said that you could borrow his car to go to Jessica's house, which is a few blocks away, to stay over. When you exceeded his permission by going 20 miles away the next day, you no longer had his permission. Do you understand that?
But he knew I was going to have it till the morning.
Don't tell me what he knew. He gave you permission, according to you, to drive it a few blocks. A few blocks is not 20 miles.
I have my witness here that saw him give me permission.
I just said, don't you have your listening ears on? I said, if I believe you, he gave you permission to take it a few blocks away. Once you took it 20 miles away, you no longer had permission.
Your Honor, he lets me borrow the car all the time.
That's not true.
Just a second. Where do you think you are?
Right here.
Where is here?
In this witness chair.
And until you stand up there, what are you supposed to do?
Listen to you.
Right. Once you exceeded the scope of the permission, you no longer had permission. That's the law. Do you understand it?
Yes.
So all I have to do is deal with the issue of damages. And for that, you're going to give me John's cell phone.
Yes, ma'am. Just let me power it up.
Power it up.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
What a nice father you have, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Do you know what he doesn't remember?
What?
He doesn't remember you paying him back.
And later today,
What were you doing for the last 3 years?
I was selling cars.
Why did you decide to go back to school?
I made a life-changing mistake of driving under the influence and lost my license.
That was life-changing.
Very much.
Kenneth Kip Panett claims former friend Stacy Schwartz took his car without permission and damaged it. Kenneth says Stacy not only ruined the transmission and clutch, but she also popped one of his tires.
John Panett, this is Judge Judy Sheindlin. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. Do you have a moment for just a couple of quick questions for me? I'm here, as you know, trying a case involving your son and this young woman who took his car without permission. Are you familiar with that? Okay. Did he ever ask you for any money to help him repair this car? When was that? 3 months ago. Do you remember how much it cost you, sir? Approximately. And did you use your credit card? Did he pay you back that money? I know, I have children. Did he tell you how it happened? Did he need a new transmission? Was he driving the car? Okay. Very good. And you used a credit card? Okay, great. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you taking the time. Bye-bye now. What a nice father you have, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And as a matter of fact, your father does remember helping you out and paying for this transmission a few months ago.
That's correct.
Do you know what he doesn't remember?
What?
He doesn't remember you paying him back.
Well, I owe him money pretty much all the time, and I am always paying him. So I'm in the process
that he
of
doesn't
paying
remember. I mean, he does remember laying this money out for you, but he doesn't remember the fact that you paid him.
I have not fully paid him back, Your Honor. I apologize.
Well, how much have you paid him, sir?
Well, I owe him a total of quite a bit more than that. So I guess if you got down to that bill, I haven't paid him any because I'm paying him for things that I owe him.
Well, you have no objection to making the check payable to your father, do you?
No, not at all.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,593.83 to be made payable to John Panett. Thank you very much. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you.
It may take time, but we probably will be friends again.
Well, now that it's all been paid for, I would probably hang out with her again.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lahore versus Tatum. Step forward, please.
Desiree Loire claims ex-boyfriend Anthony Tatum owes for unpaid rent from their shared apartment. Desiree also says Anthony slashed her comforter and put a hole in the wall.
I have a feeling it's advice time. Miss Loire, this used to be your boyfriend.
Yes.
And you also shared an apartment with him.
Yes.
You claim he owes you a whole bunch of money, dating back to 2005. You do know we're in 2007 now.
Yes, I do.
Mr. Tatum says he owes you nothing.
Yes, ma'am.
Nice-looking couple. How old are you?
21.
And you?
22.
And you moved in together when you were 19 and you were 20.
Correct.
Old enough to sign a contract?
Yes.
Definitely.
So you signed a lease together?
Multiple.
Multiple leases together?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not talking about all the leases you signed together. I'm talking about the last one after you moved out, because that's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay. And it is the plaintiff's claim that you moved out, you owed her rent, you damaged some of her property, and you loaned him money in 2005 for some car insurance. That you don't remember. Do you work?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at a Japanese restaurant as a bartender.
And you?
I'm a student.
How do you support yourself?
Currently, my parents do, ma'am.
Have you ever supported yourself?
For the past 3 years, yes.
So you just went back to school?
Yes, ma'am.
What were you doing for the last 3 years?
I was selling cars.
Did you make a living at it?
Very much so.
Why did you decide to go back to school?
I made a life-changing mistake of driving under the influence and lost my license.
That's a reason.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you injure anybody?
No, ma'am.
How long is your license suspended for?
It's no longer suspended. I just can't be picked up by the insurance of a dealership. Therefore, I'm back in school.
Gotcha. Okay. That was life-changing.
Very much. Learned a life lesson.
So I'm going to give you both another one. Don't ever move in with somebody and sign a lease together. Single people who want to try living together should always get an apartment that each of them can afford separately. Isn't that a smart idea?
Absolutely.
So that if it doesn't work out, somebody says, this is my apartment, that was our agreement, you leave, I can pay the rent all by myself. Of course, I understand that by saying this, I will probably lose 40% of the cases that I try each year, but I'm willing to make that sacrifice for the purpose of the common good. Right?
You will not lose a single case.
You know, he says that because nobody's going to listen to me. But if they did listen, there's a certain wisdom in what I say.
Yes, there is.
That way, 2 people wouldn't be homeless, 2 people wouldn't have their credit in the toilet, 2 people would not have to go back to mama or whatever. You would be able to separate and say, it didn't work out. Okay. So you signed this lease together when?
In September of 2005.
And when did you move out, sir?
October 30th of 2005.
Are you still living in the apartment?
No, I'm not.
When did you move out?
February of 2006.
So you only stayed there for a couple of months?
I was there for 6 months.
November, December, January. You stayed till the end of February?
September to the end of February.
I'm not talking about September. He left in October. Did you pay October's rent?
Yes, ma'am.
No, he did not.
Well, I don't know that. How do I know that? 2 years ago. Let's talk about November, December, and January. 3 months that you lived there that he didn't.
Right.
Who lived with you there for those 3 months?
Nobody. I lived by myself. He refused to sign off the lease, so I was unable to.
You say there was somebody else living in the apartment?
Yes, ma'am. Her friend Tracy, who is also my friend, and her witness's friend, moved in at the beginning of November.
How do you know that, sir?
Because I went over there and she was living there.
You went over there when?
To get number.
How do you know she was living there?
Because my friend was her boyfriend at the time, and he was also going over there.
That's completely untrue.
Did she stay there?
She stayed there occasionally. If we would.
How occasionally?
A couple nights a week. If we went out, she'd stay over. But no, she did not pay rent. None of her things were there.
Well, you should have. How to pay rent? How many bedrooms in this apartment?
1.
Where did she sleep when she stayed over?
In my bed.
So?
Well, I don't think someone who stays 2 nights a week should have to pay rent.
Why not?
I guess.
Was it your agreement with him to move out?
I asked him to move out, yes, because
then you pay the rent.
Not paying rent.
Then you pay the rent.
Well, he should have signed off the lease, which he refused to.
And what did you do?
I couldn't do anything. He wouldn't sign off the lease. He kept threatening to come back and get the copies of the keys so he could come in and...
Madam, where were you the last 2 years?
The last 2 years, I've had my own apartment and house, and I've working and going to school.
I mean, but where were you in the last 2 years? If you moved out in February of 2006, now we're talking about a year ago.
Yes.
Where were you in this last year?
I was trying to collect money from him,
But he weren't collecting. He didn't give you any money.
Exactly, I couldn't.
Well, then why didn't you sue him in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December? Why?
I was trying to be understanding of his situation with his car and everything like that, and he couldn't hold a job, so there's no way that he could give me any money.
What made you stop being understanding?
Well, because I'm just tired. It's ridiculous.
You lived in the apartment with sometimes Tracy? You pay the rent. What else?
He damaged my property, my couch, and stabbed my comforter.
Forget the comforter. I'm not interested in the 2-year-old comforter. How did he damage your couch?
He poured beer and dip spit all over it.
When?
On November 21st.
That's not true, ma'am.
You have a witness to that?
I do.
Go ahead.
The day of November 21st, Desiree called me crying. I got over there. There was a gigantic hole in the wall when I walked in. The entire living room was trash, stuff everywhere, food thrown around.
Where was he?
He was nowhere to be found.
Well, so you didn't see him do anything?
He was there that morning.
He was there that morning.
Just a second. You didn't see him do anything?
No, I didn't see him do anything, but the people that had stayed the night prior to that had seen him come over in the morning.
Goodbye. Thank you. You have that Mr. Tatum was the cause of any damage to your property.
Well, because he called me screaming after he did it.
What did he say?
I can't believe you had those guys stay the night.
What guys is he talking about?
We had been drinking at my apartment. I had friends stay the night.
How many friends?
2. They had slept on the couch. And that's when he came over that morning to get his things.
Yes.
And he freaked out.
How do you know that?
Well, because they told me they were there. And then he came in with a tire iron and hit the wall.
What?
And poured everything on my couch.
You have absolutely no proof that he did any of that.
I
If you have 2 friends that you allowed to sleep at your house after they were drinking who witnessed him do it.
They didn't witness him do it. They witnessed him come in and make a scene, and then they left, and then he came back after that. He told me. I talked to him on the phone afterwards.
Did you ever acknowledge to her
No,
that
ma'am.
you destroyed her property?
No, ma'am.
Time to move on. Time to move on and get over it. Do you understand?
Yes.
This is a court, not nonsense. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Plaintiff Kenneth Keaton is suing 26-year-old craftsman Dustin Snow for assaulting him after he caught Dustin picking avocados from his tree.
Yeah, this is case number 545 on the calendar in the matter of Keaton versus Snow. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Mr. Keaton, according to your complaint, sir, you are a property owner. You own a home.
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
And on your property, amongst other things, there's an avocado tree.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm a city girl. I didn't even know how avocados came, whether they were hatched or grew on a vine, but now I know avocados are generated in trees.
Correct.
According to what I read, Mr. Snow here was stealing your avocados.
That's correct.
Shh. No. You have to be quiet. Was stealing your avocados, and during the course of this altercation, he assaulted you.
Yes, he did.
And injured you.
Correct.
You want to be compensated for that.
That's right.
For that injury. Mr. Snow, while he acknowledges that he was stealing your avocados, sort of, says that you provoked this incident by throwing one of the avocados at his girlfriend who was sitting in the truck. Now, Mr. Snow, I'm going to start with you. You were, in fact, taking avocados from a tree that belonged to Mr. Keaton.
Yes, Your Honor.
I would like you to describe to me how you were doing that.
I actually was driving down the street, and I pulled up under the tree, which actually hangs over the street. I have pictures I could show you as well.
Where are they?
They're right here, Your Honor.
Good. What were you driving down the street in?
A Dodge truck.
Where were you going?
I take care of a mentally disabled person. I was going down to just acquaint with him and take him out to breakfast.
Where does he live?
About 8 houses down from Mr. Keaton.
So you pass this property regularly?
Yes, ma'am.
And how many times have you taken property from Mr. Keaton?
Your Honor, I took it one time prior. I had taken avocados, and
how many did you take?
I'd say around 20, 25.
What did you do with them?
Made guacamole, Your Honor.
Well, you took them because... You took them because you felt that you were entitled to take them because the branches hung over into the street. Is that what you're telling me?
Somewhat, Your Honor. It was really easy for me to stand in the back of my truck. I didn't get out and climb into his tree from his property. I merely parked my truck in a legal manner and stood in the back and reached up and picked the avocados.
Okay. Did you know it was the wrong thing to do, sir?
Yes, I did. Very stupid.
So you knew it was stupid?
I knew it was stupid.
And you knew it was wrong. Now, on what date did this altercation take place, Mr. Snow?
Ma'am, I don't recall.
Mr. Keaton?
I know exactly the date, Your Honor. February 29th, 2004. It was a Sunday morning, about 10:30.
Now, you were going to see this person that you take care of?
Yes, ma'am.
On your way there, you decided to stop by and get some avocados?
It was a rather spontaneous event. I just kind of was driving down the street. I saw him up there, was thinking guacamole. Didn't think it was much of a big deal. I didn't think it would blow up into this and get us out of control as it did.
But you didn't just take 1 or 2 avocados, Mr. Snow, did you?
No, I think I probably had about 20.
Tell me how you got them.
I pulled under the tree, and I stood in the back of my truck, and I was pulling them off. And I had actually, there was a branch hanging down so low that I climbed up into the tree.
This time you actually...
So yeah.
This time you actually trespassed...
From my truck, I grabbed a branch, and I climbed into the tree, and I was picking them off and throwing them onto his grass, actually.
Now, Mr. Snow, let's say you're walking along the street, and you could pick your hand up, and you could pull down an avocado. Still, it belongs to somebody else, but you're taking one. But you didn't take one. You were a pig.
Yes, ma'am. I was a pig.
Oh, yeah, I can't even walk up a sweat with this guy. Perfect.
Happens sometime.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so you're home and you hear something going on outside. You walked outside. What did you see, Mr. Keaton?
Well, actually, I didn't hear anything outside. I had a job to do for a friend across town. I was going to cut some tree roots out and remove a stump for this lady.
This is not particularly germane to the case, what you were going to do across town?
No, but it's setting up the point that I'm walking to my truck with my tools to put into the truck. His truck was partially blocking the driveway with his passenger sitting in the front seat. And as I decided, well, I better ask her to move the truck, it started raining avocados from my avocado tree. And that's when I noticed Mr. Snow in the top of the tree, but I'd say at least 16 to 20 foot high into the tree, standing on branches, leaning on others, picking avocados as fast as he could. And at one point, I thought it might be necessary to retrieve his license plate number. By the time I got to the back of the vehicle, he was coming thumping down onto the grass, jumped out of the tree. How far he jumped, I have no idea. I'm surprised he didn't hurt himself. But I indicated that he had not seen or paid attention to my 3 no trespassing signs.
What did you say to him?
I told him to get the hell out of my tree.
Okay.
And if you would like to see some of the signs that I have here that depict what was right in line with the cab, not only of where he parked or where his passenger was sitting. They're clearly marked.
Keep off the tree. Keep going.
And then at that point, he did offer $3 for...
No. So far, you told him to get out of your tree, and he did.
Yes,
so
and
let's go back to the conversation. Get out of the tree. You heard him jump down from the tree. Then what happened next?
Well, I think I demanded payment at 50 cents a piece for those avocados.
Exactly. What did you say? If you remember, tell me what you said.
I know I asked him for 50 cents a piece for the avocados. He did bring his wallet out and says, I can offer you $3. That's all I have. I says, you've really picked more than you can afford to pick. And I think maybe this is time where you should meet the sheriff department. Well, he slowly bent down and decided, well, I'm going to pick your effing avocados, old man. What are you going to do about it?
Is that what he said to you?
Absolutely.
Is that what you said to him?
No, ma'am.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He didn't hit your girlfriend.
Yes, he did.
Bull.
Bull?
Bull. That's exactly what I said to you.
As bull? Bull what?
As in baloney.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Kenneth Keaton says he was assaulted by Dustin Snow after he caught him stealing avocados from his tree.
Go ahead.
There's no way I jumped 20 feet out of the tree.
Okay, so you jumped out of the tree because you knew you were doing something wrong.
I knew I was doing something wrong,
Okay,
so I
so
got down to confront him, and I was very rational and patient with him. I said, okay, I'm sorry about this. I said, well, what do we do here? Because I don't want any trouble. He said, you leave your truck and your girlfriend here, and you walk your down to the bank, and you get me 50 cents for every avocado.
Well, so far he didn't know that you didn't have enough money to pay him.
Well,
so
he didn't know. He didn't know. Yeah, this was.
No, just a second.
About 15 minutes.
Just a second. So you must have taken out your wallet and went to give him some money, and said, "This is all I have."
Yeah, because I didn't want any problems.
Just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
And he said, well, that's not going to do it. You picked 20 avocados. And then, according to you, he said, well, you're going to leave your truck and your girlfriend, you go to the bank and get me some money.
Walk. He wanted me to walk.
Walk, right, like you were climbing the tree. He wanted you to walk to the bank.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. What happened next? Come on, I'm still waiting for a rebuttal to what he says that you told him that day.
About the effing avocados that he said?
Yes.
I don't recall saying that at all.
What do you recall saying to him?
I recall being very rational and patient with him, saying, hey, look, buddy, I don't want any problems. I pulled out my wallet and said, look, this is all I have is $3. I'll even leave these. I made a pile of them right there on his property. I set them aside. I said, here's your avocados. Here's $3. I'm not gonna leave my girlfriend in my truck here, walk however many miles to the bank.
I absolutely agree with you. Go ahead.
And I said, he had my driver's license number. If he needed to get the police going into it, he could have.
So what'd you do next?
After that point, it got kind of stupid. We were sitting there just saying, okay, well, you do this, you do this. I said, I'm not doing it. I went back and forth. I said, okay, that's enough. I looked at my girl. I said, sweetheart, we're going to get out of here. I might have said, let's get the F out of here. Might have used a bad word. Walked around to the front of my truck to get into my truck.
By that time, you were in the...
we were on his front lawn. I put the avocados in a pile.
You walked to get into the driver's side of your truck.
Right, I went around the front of my truck.
Did you open the door?
Yes, I just got to open the door.
And where is he?
He is sitting directly point blank in front of the passenger, which is my girlfriend.
Okay, so he's sitting there.
Oh, not sitting, standing.
He's standing.
Right in front of the pile of avocados that I had made for him.
Okay, good. And you had the door open.
And I said, this is enough. This is stupid. He's got our license plate. He can call the police and make a report if he wants.
Fine.
We're out of here.
And
we're out of here.
Keep going.
And then as soon as I went and opened my door, I hear loud thumps. And I look across, and I kind of look through the console of the car. And there was at least 3 avocados, at least 2, probably 3 thrown. I have dents in my truck. It was point blank at my girlfriend. I have pictures of the dents if you would like to see them.
I'm more interested in seeing the picture of your girlfriend.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
No. I'm more interested in seeing the picture of your girlfriend's injury, because that's what you say. You say she was injured.
No, she got hit. We didn't go to the hospital or anything. She wasn't hurt. She was hit, but not hurt.
Okay, keep
she
going.
She kind of put her hands up to defend herself.
So that didn't hit her?
Well, one hit her, yes.
Where? In the hand?
In the arm, yeah.
You believe. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
So I went around the front of my truck, and, he was assaulting my girlfriend. He brought violence into the situation.
Just keep going, sir.
So I ran towards him, and I grabbed him by the back of the legs around his knees, pulled his feet out, and just put him on his butt. Now, Your Honor, I'm a very strong man. I could have done a lot of damage to this fella, but I kept my wits about me, and I said, you know what? I'm not going to beat up on this old guy. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want any of this. I wanted to leave.
Why didn't you leave?
Because he's pelting me and my girl with avocados.
Take you 2 seconds, get into the car, close the window, and leave. Take you less time to do that than close the door, walk around the truck, and pull his legs out from under him.
I didn't feel like fleeing, Your Honor.
You didn't feel like not fleeing,
no.
Leaving.
Well, after he's pelting avocados in my truck, that wouldn't be very smart of me.
Oh, it would have been very smart of you.
Why?
Why? I usually don't answer questions, especially questions that are stupid, but I'm going to answer your question, sir, because according to what you just told me, this situation that was instigated by your criminal activity had begun to escalate into violence. And smart people, when they are faced with a situation of escalating violence, extricate themselves from the situation. Do not put themselves into the situation with gusto.
Most people don't, but I did.
Then you're responsible for his injury, sir.
Even though he started with the violence.
He didn't start it, sir. You broke the law. You trespassed on his property. And to be quite honest with you, Mr. Snow, he didn't hit your girlfriend. According to you, according to what you said in your answer, which is different from what you're saying now, you said he threw one through an open passenger window from point-blank range and hit my girlfriend.
Yes, he did.
Bull.
Bull?
Bull. That's exactly what I said to you.
As bull. Bull what?
As in baloney. You did the wrong thing, and you're a smart aleck.
No, I admit to doing the wrong thing.
Twice, not once, but twice. Because aside from committing a crime, it's not a major crime, but you were a pig. Because if you wanted to go to this handicapped person's house that you were taking care of and bring him an avocado, then you take 2 avocados, maybe 3. You don't climb up.
You ever made guacamole, Your Honor? You need several.
Listen to me. I allowed you to ask me one question, which I answered. You only get one opportunity. Why don't you try listening? Your activity that you acknowledge you knew was wrong precipitated an incident, and somebody else was injured. Not her. Not her. And it was a situation that you could have extricated yourself from in a second. You chose not to do that. So you chose to violate this man's property, not once but twice. You chose to stay in the situation because you could have left. No question. You could have left. He had your plate number. You were getting into your car, take off, go to the police, say, listen, I was trespassing on this man's property, stole his property, but then he did what he shouldn't have done. He threw avocados, and my girlfriend had to deflect there because one of them almost came in the window.
It did.
Baloney.
Baloney? You weren't there.
Baloney.
How do you know that?
Your Honor, I have some doctor's reports and bills and also pictures of my injuries. And I also have retained an attorney for the criminal charges that were finally dropped.
How's your arm now?
I do have pain in it from use, like using a weed eater or a hammer to, build my little birdhouses or something like that. And sometimes it turns all white, the skin, because there's so much pain.
Did you ever see the photographs of his injuries, sir?
No, ma'am.
Well, I'd like you to take a look at them. This is what just started with your criminal activity, Mr. Snow.
There was also more taunting by the time I got myself picked up off of the curb that I landed on to cause those type of injuries to my wrist. If he denies about making jaunts or gestures, he continued this taunting at the back of the truck where I was trying to catch my breath.
There's no question in my mind that he's a smart aleck.
No.
No question in my mind. He thought the whole big deal was nothing, should have just let it go. How long have you been with him?
2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Your Honor?
Yes.
There's also police reports that go into his past where it was still on probation at the time he did this assault on me, to where he had probably on probation for aggravated assault anyway.
Is that true, Mr. Snow?
No, ma'am.
Were you on probation at the time of this incident?
No, ma'am. Not to my knowledge.
What does that mean? Had you been convicted of a crime?
No.
Well, then the answer would be absolutely not. You couldn't have been on probation or parole because you've never been convicted of a crime.
Correct.
Is that right?
Yes.
You have proof to the contrary, Mr. Keaton?
Yes, there's
I'd just like to see it with regard to his credibility.
Department that probably would make a lot more sense to you, and you can find what you're looking for.
Let's take a look.
There are several pages of different arrests and court cases that's been settled. I'm sorry.
Well, he's got a problem with alcohol. How many DUIs do you have, sir?
1, Your Honor.
Convicted?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, what do you think a DUI is?
Driving under the influence.
It's a crime. And you were sentenced to 3 years probation.
How long ago was that?
Why are you asking me questions? What difference does it make? I said, well, you want probation? You I don't know. I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. Were you ever convicted of a crime? No. Well, then you couldn't have been on probation.
Well, I believe it was 98. That's why I asked you that.
What difference does it make, sir? You're playing with me.
You said 3 years, correct?
You're playing with me, sir. I asked you if you were ever convicted of a crime. You were convicted of battery, misdemeanor battery. 3 years probation, 1 day in jail. Remember that?
Yes.
When was that?
I don't recall the date.
You got arrested as a juvenile too, Mr. Snow?
I don't recall.
There was 1 conviction for DUI, but it covered 3 cases. That sound familiar, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Snow,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
looks to me, sir, as if for the past couple of years at least, you have remained out of trouble.
Yes, ma'am.
What's the matter? It was too long a period for you?
No, ma'am.
I mean, I look at this and I see that you had trouble in 98, 99, 2000, 2001, and probably as a juvenile, because your juvenile records probably is sealed in this county, but it certainly indicates that you had a history as a juvenile. And then all of a sudden, a couple of years, you do just fine. Maybe it's her influence on you. Who knows? She said you've been together a couple of years, so maybe she's a good influence on you. What would prompt you to do something so stupid, sir?
Guacamole.
Well, that's pretty stupid.
That's what I say.
That's pretty stupid.
Very
Then I would
stupid.
think twice, madam. If his love for vegetables
It's a fruit, Your Honor.
if his love for fruits and vegetables interferes with his good judgment, then I would think twice about hooking my star to his wagon. Checking for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
22-year-old waitress Nikki Sutton is suing her ex-fiancé, 22-year-old health club manager Matthew Nicholson, for a loan to pay his taxes and for unpaid credit card charges. Matthew says he paid Nikki back in cash.
Yeah, this is case number 491 on the calendar, the matter of Sutton versus Nicholson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat, please.
You know what's sort of interesting? The ladies come, they usually on that side, plaintiff side, and they come with all the paperwork. On this side, usually the boyfriends, they come with nothing but a smile.
Travel lightly.
Is your attaché case on the ground over there, sir? No?
No.
Well, I'm certain you're going to be very convincing.
Yes.
Miss, what?
I was just thinking to myself, he's got the truth on his side. That's all he needs.
Well, he's got something on his side. I failed to see it, but I'm sure it's there. You used to live with him?
No, he rented a house for my parents.
And you sometimes shared it together?
I was up there a lot, yes.
Enough so that you decided to get a credit card and give him one of the cards?
Yes, he had asked me to get him a card.
And you did that?
I did.
And by the time the two of you parted ways, according to you, he had maxed out the credit card. And in addition, you made a loan to him to help him pay his taxes.
Yes.
The amount of?
$1,000. He was in trouble with the IRS, is what I was told.
Okay. Did she give you any money for taxes?
She did.
Was it a gift or a loan?
It was a loan.
It was a loan. Did you pay her back?
Yes.
How?
Cash.
When she gave you the $1,000, was it in check or cash?
It was in check.
Wouldn't you think it was smart to give her back the money the same way?
Your Honor, we were planning to get married in June of this year, and we shared finances.
You're telling me your whole story, your
I
whole
wasn't
major
planning-
thing here. I'm not interested. What I'm saying to you is, when did she give you the $1,000?
I don't know.
In 04.
Do you remember what month? You would have the copy of the
I
check.
do have a copy of the check.
I'd like to see it, please. Tell me when you decided to get married, sir.
December 23rd of 2003.
So that when she gave you this in September of 2004, you were still planning to get married,
Yes, Your Honor.
right?
Yes.
When did you give her back the money in cash, sir?
It would have been the end of the month.
End of?
September.
All in one lump sum?
Actually, I believe it was 2 payments.
Give me the amounts of the 2 payments.
I want to say one was for $400 and the other was for $600.
Where did you get that money from?
Paycheck. I was paid on the 25th of every month,
Yes.
and it would have been from that.
And what did you do with your paychecks?
Deposit them at the bank.
So that you would have taken out this money, this $400 and $600.
Yes, Your Honor.
Lean down from in your attaché case, sir, and show me the withdrawal from your bank for $400 and $600.
I didn't think that would be credible evidence because it didn't state to who it went to.
Oh, it doesn't make any difference. It would have been some evidence that at the end of the month you took out $400 and $600, right?
Yes.
So instead of coming with some evidence, you come with no evidence.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
Did he ever give you money for the taxes?
No, he did not.
No. Now, let's get to the credit card. Go ahead.
Well, I got a credit card, and he had asked me to get him a credit card in his name, so I did. and the limit was $4,000. He had been making payments the entire time, and then things started going sour, so he did make a $1,500 payment.
He did or he didn't?
He did.
When?
I believe it was in August. Yes, it was in August.
Is that before or after you broke up?
That was before. And then basically everything's just started going bad. He was gambling too much. He was charging my credit card with party poker on the internet, and it ultimately...
Why are you smiling at her?
What's that?
Did you tell him what I said?
Why are you smiling at her?
Because not everything she's saying is true, Your Honor.
Is anything that she's saying true?
Yes.
Did you use the credit card to play party poker?
When we were both there.
Both where?
Playing party poker.
Did you ever play by yourself?
No.
Did you have a gambling problem?
No.
Did you gamble?
Well, yes, on party poker, Your Honor.
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a letter from him 2 days after we had broke up. He left it on my car, and it says he was going to Gamblers Anonymous.
Can I see it, please? He says he apologizes for his actions on Friday night. This was in October. He embarrassed you at your place of work. What did he do?
He came to my work. He got really drunk. I don't really want to talk about it, but he decided he was going to tell me he was going to commit suicide. I had to call the cops on him, and they took him to the mental health.
I'm starting Gamblers Anonymous, effective tonight at 7 p.m. in Ventura. Were you successful?
I never wrote that letter, Your Honor.
I do have another letter with his writing, talking about his anger problem.
You never wrote this letter?
No, Your Honor.
This is strange. Why would someone that you were engaged to sign his letter with love, Matthew Nicholson? That's strange. Okay, let me see another letter that you say you have that he wrote. Take out your wallet, Mr. Nicholson. Take out your driver's license. Not the same.
It was left on my card, and he called me that Sunday night, telling me he was at his meeting.
Give this to him. No, but the handwriting on this check is very similar to these letters.
No.
Similar. I'm not a handwriting expert, but similar. Give these back to the plaintiff, please. See? Am I fair?
Yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but it means that when she tries to put something over on me, I'm going to put my heel on her throat. Don't ever do that again.
I swear I didn't write that letter.
Well, he didn't.
Okay. I
don't know who did, but he didn't.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Kevin Jewelers.
That would be a pair of diamond earrings which she still has in her possession, Your Honor.
Well, that was a gift. You didn't expect her to pay for a gift.
What's that?
What word didn't you understand?
And later today,
He proceeded to grab the bottle of rum and continue to pour it on his own. He started to show signs of inebriation.
Did you tell him to stop?
I said, yeah, slow down, big boy, you know.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Nikki Sutton says ex-fiancé Matthew Nicholson owes for credit card charges and a loan to pay back taxes. Nikki claims Matthew has a gambling problem.
Now, let me see the credit card stuff. I want to see some of the things that were charged, please.
This is the entire year that the credit card was charged. I have paperclip the statements I have received back from the merchants with his signature on them.
He doesn't deny that he used the credit card. He said that she used it for things like buying furniture for the house, which you kept, going out, dinners, all kinds of things. So
Your
let's
Honor.
see.
I used my other credit card to buy the furniture for the house.
Just a shh. Who has Allstate insurance?
That'd be me.
Well, this is your bill.
Yes.
That's not a joint bill.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Who works out at LA Workout?
I work for the company, Your Honor.
You work for the company. Well, that's yours,
Yes, Your Honor.
right?
Yes.
Total Eclipse Professional. What is that?
I do not know, Your Honor.
I believe that was for his tenting on his windows.
That sound right?
Yes, Your Honor. She said she was paying for that.
Well, she didn't. You did on the credit card. How about Urban Home? What is that?
I know what that's for. That's the bar that he has in his house that he split with the other roommate.
That sound right to you? It's easy enough to find
Sure.
out.
Yeah, I imagine it is, Your Honor.
Well, so that's your bill, right? I'm just picking some of the big ones.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Secret Garden Florist. When's your birthday?
March.
Did you have a fight or something in September?
I don't recall, but there is a...
Secret Garden Florist. Did you ever send him flowers?
No.
Did you ever send her flowers?
Occasionally.
Well, you don't expect her to pay for her flowers, do you?
Now I do.
No. Kevin Jewelers. $749.99 back in December.
That would be a pair of diamond earrings, which she still has in her possession, Your Honor.
Well, that was a gift. You couldn't expect her to pay for a gift.
What's that?
What word didn't you understand?
No, I don't.
Well, then that's your bill. That's so far the biggest bill that's here.
Probably is, Your Honor.
You see where I'm going on this, sir?
I'm following you. She was paid cash for a lot of the stuff.
Show me.
I can't.
Well, then that's your problem, quite frankly, sir. What's Adelphia?
Cable company.
$254?
For the house that I was living in.
That
which
you were
she
living
shared.
in?
Correct.
It was your house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Who has a Verizon wireless bill?
I have a Nextel phone, Your Honor.
He had Verizon. I have proof that I paid my Verizon bills with checks. I have them all.
You have them all?
I have them all.
Good. You see what happens when you come prepared? What's the balance on the credit card?
The balance comes over $4,000.
The only thing I don't like about your case, even though it's very well prepared, are those letters. However, maybe it's possible somebody else wrote them, not you. Possible, but not probable. Mr. Nicholson, you have to pay your debts, sir. She gave you $1,000 to pay your taxes. You have to pay that, and you have to pay these bills that are on the credit card. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I'm just glad it's over. I don't have to deal with her anymore, and I can move on in my life.
We were planning on getting married, but the evil side of him came out.
Now that this is done, I can completely forget about her.
There is no animosity. I hope he has a great life.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Dowling versus Shelley. Step forward, please.
Artist Megan Dowling is suing computer support technician Keith Shelley for the cost to fix a marble table. Megan says the table was damaged when a drunken Keith fell on it.
Miss Dowling, according to your complaint, Mr. Shelley, while in your home, broke a table, an antique table of yours.
Correct.
You want him to pay to have it repaired. Now, how do you know Mr. Shelley?
He's an employee of a friend of mine.
How did it come about that he was at your home?
Well, I had gone over to my friend's place of employment. He owns a warehouse where he works, and Keith was working there. And the friend brought out a bunch of wine after work, and we were sipping wine, and we all went to dinner after that.
So first you were drinking at the warehouse?
Correct.
How long did that drinking last at the warehouse?
Oh, about 45 minutes.
After you finished drinking at the warehouse, you all went out for dinner. How many people went out for dinner?
4.
Raise your hands. 1, 2. Either of you there? Raise your hand if you all went out for dinner.
No, I wasn't there. I'm sorry.
Who do you live with?
I had a roommate, the gentleman over here, Bill Gaylord, who's a witness.
Were you there when this happened with the table?
Yes, I was.
But you had not been out for dinner with them?
No, I have not.
So first you went out for dinner, 4 of you. And how long was dinner?
Pretty short. It's about an hour.
Did you drink?
I think I had a half a glass of wine.
Well, you had been drinking at the warehouse.
I had a glass of wine.
Okay. How did Mr. Shelley end up back at your house?
I invited my friends and Mr. Shelley for a postprandial cocktail.
A what?
A post-dinner cocktail, a nightcap. I had some very excellent rum, and I thought I'd introduce them to...
And what time did you get back to your house?
Oh, I don't know, approximately 8.
But none of the other friends took you up on it, only Mr. Shelley, according to your complaint.
They originally were going to come over, but then they decided to not come after all.
And Mr. Shelley came over?
Correct.
And you gave him some of this wonderful rum?
Right.
What'd you drink?
I had some rum.
How much?
Oh, I don't know, about 2 drinks.
What about Mr. Shelley?
Well, he originally said he was going to have just 1 drink and then go. And I said, that's fine. I don't really want to share a very expensive, an entire bottle of rum with you.
Did you say that to him?
Yeah, yeah. And so I poured us both a glass of rum, and he finished it, and he proceeded to grab the bottle of rum and continue to pour it on his own. And I was getting a little irritated.
Did you tell him to stop?
I said, yeah, slow down, big boy, you know, because he started to show signs of inebriation.
So you told him to slow down, but you didn't tell him to stop.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Megan Dowling says one-time acquaintance Keith Shelley owes for breaking her marble table. Megan says Keith fell on it when he was drunk.
When did you get home that evening, sir?
I got home about 10, maybe 15 minutes before the incident.
Why don't you step up here? Tell me your last name.
Gaylord.
You rent a room, share an apartment?
I was subletting a room from her at the time, yes.
Tell me what you saw when you came home.
They were sitting down together, having a drink.
And?
He was getting up, just about to leave, and I was going to see him to the door, so I headed towards the front door, and the moment I had turned the back is when I heard the crash.
So he fell over a table?
More on it. So, large marble, heavy marble top.
He wasn't hurt, was he?
To the best of my knowledge, no.
I also had told Keith to stay at my house a little longer before he left because I saw that he was a little inebriated. And I said, either you stay here or you take a cab home, but I'm not letting you drive like this, so.
Right, because you know what could happen?
I could get sued and he could hurt people.
You're right.
Yep.
You could get sued if he drove and hurt people.
I'm well aware of that.
Because you served him alcohol in your house.
That's correct.
So if you know, Miss Dowling, that if you serve someone alcohol in your house and they become inebriated, and if they go out and if they get into their car, and if they injure somebody, you can be liable, right?
Yes.
Why don't you think you're liable for your own table?
Well, I detained him.
You can sit down now, sir. What you're claiming is that he was drunk and fell on your table. Well, that's what you said here.
Yeah, but I detained him for a couple of hours before he got up and decided that he was going to leave. And I said, are you sure you're okay? And he says, yeah, I feel fine. And he by all accounts...
That's what every drunk says when they get behind the wheel of a car.
Well, but he looked fairly lucid. And
just a minute, so he looked okay to you?
Well, I didn't give him a field sobriety test, but I mean...
All right, Mr. Shelley, let me hear your version of these events, sir.
The way the coffee table and the couches are, it's like an L couch, and the coffee tables don't leave a lot of room for regaining one's balance when if you lose your stepping. Right there at the corner of the coffee table, the rugs, there's like rugs on top of the wall-to-wall carpeting. And I tripped on that. That could have happened whether I was drinking or not. And as I started falling, she starts yelling at me. Nothing about, are you okay? Just as I'm losing balance, she starts yelling. And of course, I went down on the table. It was some kind of antique thing, I'm really sorry that that happened. But
well, let me ask you this question, Mr.
Sure.
Shelley. Because I believe that you're probably sorry it happened, and I believe that Ms. Dowling is partially responsible. Did you ever say to her, listen, let me split the cost of fixing this table with you?
I don't recall exactly,
Let's say, put your hand down, Ms. Dowling. Let's say you didn't say it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Would you think that that's reasonable now?
That sounds reasonable now.
You had a little too much to drink?
Yeah.
She served you a little too much to drink?
It was right there on the coffee table.
Maybe she served you a little too much to drink.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that, Miss Dowling?
Well, first of all, the minute I saw that he was inebriated and he was grabbing the bottle and helping himself, I confiscated the alcohol.
Listen, you were probably
and
three sheets to the wind yourself. You had started to drink at 5:30 in the afternoon. You were still drinking at, according to him, 10 o'clock at night, and according to you, you were still drinking rum. You had a rum with him.
I don't think 4 drinks over 5 hours.
You don't know whether he had 4 drinks or 14 drinks. How much did it cost to fix the table? And do you have a bill?
$500.
You have a bill?
Mm-hmm.
Let me have it.
Your Honor, I'd also like to say he went home later on that night. These guys poured him into a cab. They had to physically force him into a cab. And he never came back to get the table.
He shouldn't have come back to get the table. You're going to pay half the table, and he's going to pay half the table.
I attempted to ask him to
Isn't
bring...
that right, sir? Because you think that that's just reasonable. You're a big grown-up. You're going to take a certain amount of responsibility for what you do, right?
Yes. Yes, I agree. Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. Now, if I could only get Miss Dowling to take similar responsibility on her own, I would be a happy person today. But since I am not able to do that, I'm going to have to do it for her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $250. That's all.
माशाल्लाह तस्बीहा माशाल्लाह चीज़ मुझे उठा दो करा दो मेरी तस्बीहा की है मुझे करा दो चीज़ मुझे करा दे चीज़ मुझे करा दो रख लो आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ आजा इब्राहिम सीधे रास्ते थे आ वाह जी वाह इब्राहिम करम वाह जी वाह ये हमारा है बोल ये बोल हमारा है
क्या भी आया
चलो चलो चलो
छोटी वाली ले
पीछे सीधे रास्ते से आना टाइम आजा मुकदम आजा आजा पीछे जो मुकदम आ गया मुकदम आ गया हाँ दिया शाबाश सही रास्ते से आ गिर जाएगा यार चलो चलो आ जाओ आ जाओ आ जाओ ठीक है ठीक है तस्बीहा किधर है ओए इतना बड़ा झूला ले रही है तस्बीहा खड़े जो खड़े जो खड़े जो माशाल्लाह 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 इब्राहिम सीधे रास्ते से आ यार नहीं चलो लो चल इधर ध्यान दे इब्राहिम हर जगह तो नाड़ ही पाया कर तेरी वीडियो बननी पई है बहानी वीडियो चला चलाने दे